Oh my God, the overlay stuck. But can we be seen and heard? I'm waiting on a Bucho or a Chris. I got a yes from Bucho. All right. Hello, gorgeous people. Thank you for bearing with everything that is the Symphony every fucking day of the week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Symphony. Symphony Entertainment, Gaming, and Arts is my gaming company that focuses on horror systems, indie games, organic content, and player agency to bring a symphonic approach to horror role-playing. I am your host, Bridgett Jeffries, and this evening, for everyone, I think we don't have anybody across the pond right now, we are playing, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but I believe it's Sanguis Ex Tenebrus. I'll let Carl explain what that means in Latin later. An original miniseries written and run by our mother, Carl, for Alien the RPG, published by Free League Publishing. This is going to be a Did I lose my overlay? Nope, we're still good. Where Sam all over to the side. This is so delicious. Y'all see Sam hanging out on the side?
Did I move?
You did. Oh, but you're back. Look at Guy.
Is it going to pop in? Is it going to pop in?
Is it going to pop in? Is it going to pop in? This is so good.
Hey, we popped.
Sam.
I apologize to everyone.
Child, listen, it's Symphony.
You're fine.
Let's just all be surprised that it's not Bridgett. So, guys, this
if it ain't broke, it ain't Symphony.
Facts. This is going to be a 3-part series that is going to be streaming live on Mondays, as you can see, at 7 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. So you're going to be joining us today, which is March 4th, again on March 11th, and then our finale episode is going to be airing on March 18th. So again, 3 weeks of Alien the RPG run by Mother Carl. 2 quick announcements. Symphony Entertainment does have a Patreon, so if you like this content and you would like to help us create more, please consider backing us on Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Also, we will be hosting a giveaway. Our mother is very gracious. Carl is going to be giving away a copy of the core rule book for Alien the RPG. To enter, you do have to be a follower of this channel, and because this is a 3-part series, we are going to be doing the giveaway on the March 18th episode. So I'll give you instructions and buy-in and all that fun stuff. But if you want to win a free copy of the book, sponsored by Carl, you're going to want to tune in for that episode on the 18th. So, content warnings have been discussed with the cast and crew. The X card is in play. X's can be sent via private message to Carl in Zoom, or you can visibly X across your chest. If an X is thrown, no judgment is passed, no questions are asked. We will also be using my favorite safety tool, which is going to be the red, yellow, green traffic light method, which can be called by any cast member or any chat member at any time. Now, without further ado, let's unveil this cast. Cast members, please introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are, where people can find you, how your internet is doing today, and your favorite moment out of any of the Alien series. We are going to start this off with Sam, assuming that her internet stays.
We'll do this quickly. I am Samantha Pidde, also known as Fiery Angel. I live in Northwest Illinois in an area that has shitty
in an area that has shitty
as you can tell the shade and I live with my 2 beautiful boys and my husband, hapless mage Nathan Pidde, that many of you know. I am so excited to be here. Let's hope I can be here a lot tonight. Let's hope. But I'm a news writer of a local newspaper here. Support your local newspapers. And I love aliens. Gotta go with aliens. Okay. Get away from her, you bitch. So
sold.
I love Ripley. So let's do this.
Sold. Doc, hit us, baby. Who you are, where we can find you, some of the things you do, how your internet is doing, and your favorite moment from the Alien series.
Hi, everybody. I am Doc. I'm a chemistry professor by day, play a lot of RPGs by night. I've published a few best-selling scenarios on the Miskatonic repository, so feel free to check those out. I just sent my latest one to my editor today.
Hey!
Because I told myself if I looked at it any longer, I would just keep going in circles.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's going to be coming up for Chaosium Con. You can find me on just about any Discord on a variant of Doc or Doctor. But be careful, because as we learned at Chaosium Con, there are 4 of us named Doc.
Doc running around.
And it's going to be fantastic there. My favorite moment in the Alien movies, it's kind of a weird, like, cinematic one. But in the first movie, when you have that panning shot of all of the the various boxes and cargo hanging, and you don't
Oh
know that the
yeah.
xenomorph is there the whole time.
Mhm.
Once you see it
Yeah.
there, you can't not see it. But when you don't know it's there, it is that much more horrifying to know that the alien can see you, but you can't see it.
Ooh, I love this cast. This is so. Oh God, this is gonna be such a good series. Bucho, hit us, baby. Daddy.
Oh, hello, everybody. I'm the prod father, Bucho. Uh, you can find me at my link tree, which will pop up in the chat at some point.
Yeah.
You can see my paintings. You can find my blog. You can find my DJ mixes. You can go and buy my latest book, which is called Under a Black Rainbow, which has gotten some pretty good reviews and one really terrible review from somebody who clearly hated me, which was wild. So that's where you can find me. I would say that my favorite part of one of the Alien movies was, despite the fact that I did not like Prometheus,
Uh-huh.
I
Oh
really
God.
appreciated when the first image of the large OG people in one of those chairs. I thought that was just really dope. Yeah, in
Fair.
that big chamber. That was not part of the lore that I knew anything about, and I just thought that was really cool.
Listen, cinematic moments that stick the landing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Carl, our mother and writer, tell us who you are, where people can find you, how your internet is doing today, and what are your favorite moments from the Alien series?
I'm going to refrain from describing how my internet is because I'm afraid it'll hear me. But
Knock on
um,
everything.
I'm Carl. I have a fairly minimalist online presence, but I can be found at Origins and a couple other game conventions running games, poking my way through the server, occasionally making inappropriate comments, and watching old sci-fi movies. So I also have an Instagram where I post some of my painted miniatures, which is another hobby I have. I'm really stoked to be running this. I can't believe I get to run Aliens for Bridgett, who actually introduced me to the game system in the first place. With a great cast and on the first long-term story that's going to be on Symphony. The first of many, I'm understanding. So,
Yes.
um, and I think my favorite moments from the Aliens series is I think like they all like every single one of them like resonates with me somehow. But I think one of my favorite moments is just in Aliens when they're looking at the map and Newt is trying to get on her hind legs and look at it.
Yeah.
Hudson sees that, picks her up and puts her on the thing saying like, yeah, you're in the shit with us, kid.
Yeah.
It's just a very interesting moment of like, yeah, we have to do this together or it's not gonna work. And even like respecting the agency of someone who's like 12 years old as a like grizzled, like I guess they were theoretically supposed to be like 25, but like all those men were 40.
Yeah.
So no, it's just one of the small like subtle moments that I think makes the whole movie tick.
So, just as a total aside, as I interrupt everything that's happening right now, I don't tell the cast members what my surprise question is going to be during the introductions. I like catching them off guard and having them think on their feet because it's literally the Symphony way. So, with no prep for you to bring out something that profound, Carl, like you're 100% in the seat that you belong in, and that's why I'm going to surrender it to you now. Guys, welcome. Well, we're going to welcome Sam back here in a little bit, but for the time being, welcome Mother Carl to the Symphony. Babe, the show is in your hands.
Okay. So giving you guys a little bit of a refresher. So I've shared a little bit of a document with everybody, but our story is going to take place on the colony planet of LV-937, a colony that has been dubbed colloquially Eunomia. It was originally discovered about 100 years ago by a company called Pentex Astrotech, who bought a couple of refurbished Weyland-Yutani atmosphere processors and basically came up with an idea for a whole communal living colony ship, an entire new startup owned by the colonists and things like that. They they got a lot of people on board. They sent out a colony ship with about 1,000 people on it, and when they woke up in orbit, they realized that the original company that hired them had gone bankrupt, and their new Weyland-Yutani employee orientation packets were waiting in their email filters.
Well,
so they figured we were here anyway, and it's a nicer planet. They landed and began to colonize it. And after only a couple of years, the atmosphere processing bore fruit because it was very close to being Earth-like anyway. And in a happy accident, while there wasn't a lot of like mineral wealth or anything, particularly extremely valuable there, most of the planet was covered by arable farmland, and earth crops were horrifically invasive species to the local wildlife. So now, only about 60 years later, the colony has been fully established. It covers about a third of the planet with agri-farms. And the colonists out here all sort of maintain that kind of idea that this was supposed to be a communal living area and we're supposed to have each other's backs. It's out in an area where Weyland-Yutani doesn't usually have direct control. They, through mutual agreements with some of the area, the people in the area, nobody gets different prices. So everybody buys the crops from here at the same price, which has kept other people from screwing with it for years. So this is a weird example in the Alien universe of a colony which has been established, is working, and is pretty idyllic. You have people in the Marines and a bunch of other professions who scrimp and save up enough because they've heard about this colony and they retire here. Because it's basically mostly beautiful farmland and a small central colony where most of the operations happen. The only presence that Weyland-Yutani has is a couple of local administrative staff, and every 2 years they send a resupply shuttle. They're not allowed to send any more people out here. They're not allowed to send any direct aid. They just are allowed to basically resupply and give additional things. So this colony's been operating for a very long time, and all of you are playing various characters in it. However long you've been here is up to you. But let's go around and give a little bit of a brief introduction, and then we'll launch into some of the setup scenes. Let's see. Sam, could you describe your character? That was a bad choice.
wait for it.
Oh, there it is. Yay.
Yeah, I can certainly do that, we hope. So I am Finnegan, nickname Gan Palmer. She's 35, dark hair, dark eyes, dark skin. Her hair is very wavy, wild, usually pulled up in a messy ponytail covered in grease. She has a lot of scars and calluses, mostly on her hands from years of working hard labor, working with machines.
Damn, it was just getting good. So close. Bucho, your face is irritating me.
All
right. Maybe we'll cycle back to Sam.
Yeah, we'll come back to Sam.
Here's the crazy thing, just as FYI. If she completely disconnects and logs back on, the whole overlay is going to go bonk. Which means get your spirit fingers together, Bucho, because you're going to be entertaining the chat while we put everyone back in boxes. Because I'm not ending this stream and restarting it. So listen.
I'm preparing to take my shirt off. I'll do what I need to do.
We do what we need to do. Okay, we're good.
Okay. So let's hop on to your character, Bridgett. Why don't you go ahead and introduce us and give a quick description?
No problem. The overlay, as Heinrich agrees. I'm going to give Sam all of the back count of maybe 5, 4, 3, 2. Damn. All right,
Sorry.
She's back.
That was a bad one. Sorry about that one.
You're here
That's
now.
okay.
Again, she's usually covered in grease, dirt. She has coveralls, kind of mechanics type jumpsuit, usually a bomber jacket to keep off the wind. She does the stuff no one wants to do. She's the laborer. She gets stuff done. Pretty affable, a little gruff, but cares about the people she cares about.
Fair.
Cool. Thank you.
I'd like to point out at the moment that, like, everything went back to normal on Twitch, so we're golden. Like, yeah.
Well,
You're gonna point out what, sir? What are you gonna point out? Now
what
you
I
guys are
can't
just
wait
having
is
fun
to
with
like
this.
we're in a super high tension scene and
Yep.
everyone is leaning forward and then bleep and we're fine.
Yep.
All right, Bridgett, why don't you go ahead and describe your character? Thank you, Sam. That was a great description.
That
Thank
was a
you for your
really great intro.
patience.
Yeah, so I am playing Dr. Stephanie Madison. Most people call her Steph or Mad. She's not really big on the whole let's put the doctor in front of her name thing. She's too laid back for that. Okay, like, let's just be honest. I got out of the shit-eating planet that I was on by joining the Marines. And that was a shit-eating gig. And I hated every moment of it. But I was a corpsman, and, you know, they paid for the education, they gave me the tools, they gave me the information and the education I needed to save lives. And at this point, I'm moving from planet to planet, saving junkies and stupid people on colonies that get shot in the face with, like, bolt guns by drunk rednecks and roughnecks. It's a struggle. Like, I used to have this altruistic view on saving lives and making people better, but let's be super honest. People go out of their ways to find creative ways to kill and poison themselves on a daily basis. So I go where the work sends me. I may have paid well for the work to send me to this particular planet. I've heard good things about it, and things have been great so far. I've only been here about 6 months right now. The goal is, if I can make it for an entire year, they renew my contract, I move my daughter out here. So I'm an African-American female. I am, I guess, petite, but they didn't really care about my whole height requirement when they let me into the Marines. It's the Marines. Like, what the fuck do you actually want from me? But no, so anytime you see me, I am fair complected. I do everything that I can to make sure my hair is exorbitant every day, because when I was in the Marines, they took my identity away and they didn't let me have fun hair. So sometimes it's dyed, sometimes the colors are tipped, sometimes it's big like it is today. But no matter what, you're going to have to contend with me and my hair, and I dare you to say something about it. The other thing you always see me in is some form of scrubs. And they're always scrubs that whatever cartoon is in rotation right now is what I'm wearing. Chrissy sends them to me. You guys know she's my daughter. She's 7. And at least every other week, I get a box of scrubs. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for paying for an endless supply of scrubs. She picks out her favorite cartoon characters. She sends me the scrubs. I wear them, and you have to contend with that too. And I dare you to say something about it.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's a great description.
Yay!
I love the idea of a badass with like a Hello Kitty scrubs on. It's like, fucking say something.
For sure, the Hello Kitty scrubs or something. I'm sure they've got Hello Kitty or something on unicorns. Whatever the kids are watching today, I don't watch this shit, but she loves it and I'm wearing them for her. Say something, I dare you.
Well, Bucho, would you go ahead and give us a description of your character?
I would. My name is Marshall Ward, but also, much like the doctor, I don't really care about titles, so you can just call me Ward. I'm a late 20s, early 30s young man, short cropped hair. During the nicer seasons, I wear an ironed shirt. During the colder seasons, I tend to wear a turtleneck. My skin is immaculate, as is my facial hair. I keep everything very locked up tight. Because I am the marshal, I am also kind of always on rounds. Things are good here, but that doesn't mean that they will stay that way. So I have to be on my P's and Q's pretty much all the time.
Cool.
I
Nice.
also have a compass rose tattoo here on the right side of my neck.
Oh. Does it mean anything in particular, or will we find that out later?
I think it's just more of a kind of a physical representation to stay true.
Nice.
Keep moving in the right direction.
Nice. Cool. All right. Doc, you introduce us to your character, please?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Oh, fuck me.
My
I'm not gonna
name
make
is
it.
Dr. Brian Jennings. You'll often see me in the laboratory. I came down here after some academic issues with some funding went awry, and I thought I could come here to live in comfort and perhaps put aside some academic pursuits. But well, as you know, the genius never stops, and when some things were found out here, well, I couldn't resist diving in head first and thinking to myself, well, I can find something out here. My field is xenobiology, so I've taken to these caves they found, and I've collected a few mold samples and spore samples, and people sometimes tell me that, well, I work too hard or I don't delegate well, but well, why would I delegate to somebody who's going to do it wrong?
Mm.
Nice. Oh, all right. All right. So we're going to pick up towards in the late afternoon of a fairly average day on the colony. We'll start with Gan. You are sore from the day's work, but pretty happy with how things go. You can feel sort of a deep rumble in your chest as one of the automated cargo lifters takes off from its platform at the edge of the colony, bound for the processing and storage station in orbit. These are things that have been built into the various areas to very quickly lift the grain up to the silos of the waiting space station. There's 4 of them here in the main colony and 1 at each of the 7 outlying colonies. So you're hitting the calf after doing maintenance on. I think we lost her. Did we lose her?
Yep, unless she's just super contemplative.
Oh no, I put her to sleep.
No, that was the fungus from my laboratory. Apparently, it got loose.
Hey, where did we lose you?
The rumbling of the cargo lifter, and
Okay.
I'm not sure after that. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
No worries. I'm issuing a moratorium. You owe no apology for whatever's going on with your internet. It's totally
There
cool.
we go. Yes,
It
that energy
happens.
right there. This is the Symphony way. Shit happens. We're okay.
So basically, the colony has several different automated lifters that will basically, once they're full, boost grain into orbit. There's 4 of them at the main colony and 1 at each of the 7 outlying, like, small farming towns. So you are able to. You're pretty happy today. You're able to leave a little bit early, hit the cafeteria to get some of the good food before the ravening hordes descend on it. What is Gan's favorite thing to grab from the commissary?
I think she likes a little bit of salt, so she likes some chips, whatever the chips we can get at the commissary are. I don't know if they're potato on this world, but some sort of chip, something crunchy.
Cool. Yeah, they're definitely potatoes on this world. Potatoes, it's been found, will grow in most anything. So they taste a little bit different than normal, but I mean they're potatoes. So yeah, you're grabbing a cold drink and a little snack, kicking back a little bit, and you feel a little bit of a tug on your sleeve. And you look down and you can see Vic sort of looking up at you and going, "Hey, Gan." Who is Vic and what does he look like? Or they look like? Apologies.
I'm back. It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I smile. I love Vic. Vic is a sweetheart. Short for Victoria. She is her dad, Doug. He kind of got lost in an industrial accident a few years ago, and I'm always close with Vic and her mom, and we she's always running after me and kind of just following along. She helps out sometimes, kind of.
It's the Symphony one.
Correct.
I will say I might go back and rewatch this and do screenshots of every time her face is frozen, and then make a collage and send it to her for like her birthday or something.
That's another Symphony calendar right there.
I was just about to say it could be a good Symphony calendar too.
The many faces of Sam.
The many faces of Frozen Sam. That's good. All right.
The one where she looked like she was passed out was probably the best.
For sure.
You could.
All right, we'll give this one a solid 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep it rolling.
Okay.
She's almost back.
Use your powers for good, Bridgett.
No, instead, I'm just going to go ahead and break the overlay again. Yep, and she's back.
There it is.
No, I'm back.
All right, cool.
So no, Vic is always hanging after me. She likes to try to work on the machines with me. She's at that age where she's really not help, but I let her help. I can always fix whatever she messes up, but I let her run after me. She's a sweet kid. Her dad would want me to take care of her.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, she pulls on your. She is beaming up at you. She has an incredibly proud look on her face, and she's got a small spanner that you didn't even realize was missing from your tool belt, but like you recognized it in an instant.
Yeah.
And she's like, I did what you told me, and you remember how you told me how like some of the vid screens work in the quarters. I did what you told me. I took it apart and I put it back together. I could actually like reconnect it and things. The bottom corner is still a little bit fuzzy, and like the top corner is kind of like not really there anymore. And Mom was a little annoyed, but like I did everything you told me, and it should work out really, really well. And she's just gonna go off and literally until you stop her on, oh my God, I did this thing. Oh my God, I did this thing. Oh my God, I did this thing. Basically, she's been taking appliances apart and putting them back together and getting it about 80%.
I just let her go.
Okay.
Talking. I'm just eating my chips. I probably empty the entire bag before I interrupt her. It's a good chip. It's a good beer. Whatever I'm drinking. She needs that energy boost. She's just rambling. I'm not really listening after the first minute or two. But I'm just like, oh yeah, Vic. No. Don't worry about your mom. Don't worry about your mom. I'll smooth it over if I need to tweak something. You're doing good though. You can't be like me just today. I got 20 years on you. More than that, kid. It's fine. We'll fix it. I'll go see your mom if that's. I know her mom's a little sweet on me, so I'm always there helping. So no. I'll come over for dinner sometime this week. If it's not working quite yet, I'll fiddle with it. Don't worry. But you keep practicing. You're doing really good.
Okay, great. That'll make Mom real happy. She'll continue to stop. Occasionally, her hand will shoot into your bag of chips. She almost doesn't realize that she's doing it.
Kids.
Yeah, you'll while away a little bit of time, basically encouraging this kid, and she loves every second. You've told her things that you probably shouldn't tell kids who are like 13, but who cares? You're out here on the frontier. There's not a lot of rules. And knowing how to fix or break stuff is a really useful skill. No. Cool. All right. Madison, you are having a little bit of a day in the infirmary. You're dealing with one of the local minor ailments, which is a small percentage of the population reacted to some of the local spores and fungus, and had like a weird allergic reaction, somewhat akin to the effects of hyperspace madness, which is a bit of an extreme reaction, but it seems like the same thing actually tends to cure it. You have a bunch of the old cryopods from the original sleeper ship, about a dozen of them set up in a bank near the infirmary. Because one of the things that you do to help people out with this is to just put them into cryosleep for a couple of days. And that seems to reset whatever causes this.
Okay.
So you've got a couple people in the pods. You got about 10 of them in there. It's been a little bit of a day. And you hear like a knock at the door, and you look back towards it, and Jack is leaning up against the frame with a bottle of whiskey that definitely like didn't go through customs, and he's kind of holding it up and waggling it towards you. It's like fancy a little bit of a end of work hair of the dog, whatever the hell you want to call
Make me know who Jack is.
it. Jack is Jack Evanson is an old superior from your days in the Corps who settled in the colony about 5 years ago. And he's basically, or they, sorry, have been basically a good drinking buddy. And they are always up for a story time.
Okay.
It's up to you whether or not you believe their stories, but man, do they have a lot of stories.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm spinning on like a bar stool right now, one of the oscillating bar stools, looking at the 10 out of 12 of these cryopods that are occupied, wondering how the fuck did this get to this particular situation? Really, she should probably, I need to have a conversation with the doc to see if he could put together why this is happening or why this seems to be the only curve. But I turn and I look at Jack and I go, I'm really not in the mood for the dumb shit today, Jack. Do you have a news story for me? Something good? Something old? What are we working with today? Give me the bottle.
Well, how about just a companionable silence? And they'll put down two glasses and hand you the bottle as you requested.
I'll take the bottle and I will pour the first round. I'm going to look at the bottles like, they're going to wind up flagging you for smuggling this shit in, right?
Whatever. I'll figure it out. I got what 10 good years left. I'm not gonna waste them not having fun.
Yeah, I don't know. 10 might be a stretch for you, babe. I'd put you more in the 4 to 5 range, really.
Oh, so now we're being hurtful.
Oh, was that hurtful? So sorry. And I'll raise the glass and go ahead and do the toast.
He'll clink. He'll clink. Yeah, I mean, he will launch into one of his old stories about, putting down some small rebellion in the Corps that just about as much about the Corps as they do. You've never heard of that planet. You've never heard of that rebellion. You've never heard of any of this. So it's a good story, though.
Lots of story.
Lots of good heroic behind the scenes fighting and, hiding from a bunch of different people. I forgot to ask you. I apologize. What does Jack look like?
Oh, what does Jack look like? Jack the storyteller. So I am going to give Jack, let's do mid-50s white male that is completely bald, that has the gray beard coming in, that has way more salt than it has pepper right now. He grayed really, really fast. He's starting to let himself go a bit, so he has the stomach coming on. You can see that he's carrying, the additional water in his throat and in his face, but he has these super charming, bright blue eyes and somehow long eyelashes. Long eyelashes aren't typically common on men, but it really accents his storytelling, and it's just very easy to look at him in the face and be like, you lying, gorgeous son of a bitch. Yep, keep going. It's completely fine, Jack. Yep, just go for it and let's have a good time. At some point in the middle of the storytelling, I'm doing the okay, I'm going to buy us a second round, and I'm going to reach behind me and pull down a patient clipboard, which 100% isn't a patient clipboard. It's this weird graphic that she has going where she's tying the threads to his bullshit stories together. But it looks like she's charting while she's going, yep. And so she's like, wait, he used that. He used that same planet in this story too. And more or less, it's just accenting her amusement over exactly the bullshittery that he always throws at her.
Wait, last time he was a comms guy. Now this time he's a smart gunner. Now,
right?
Yeah.
So she's doing that. I was like, oh yeah, the rebels they were wearing a different color last time. It's just something fun that she does.
Cool. Yeah, you've been able to make a lot of connections between stories, but God, there's no clear picture.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you. So yeah, you'll spend a little bit of time, as he tells the story, and you guys have an enjoyable early evening.
Okay.
let's see. Jennings,
Yes.
you are at the edge of the colony. As you mentioned, there is a small area of mountainous and hilly terrain, sort of at the edge of the colony by where the river comes from, and you are engaged in some survey operations at the moment
Of course.
because there's sort of an odd system of tunnels that kind of runs beneath and through the mountains. Um, and it seems you're starting to think that it's like a little bit more extensive than you originally thought. As one of your research assistant, Amanda Devlin, looks up from the scanner and says, "Doctor, we've got some very interesting readings here. I don't quite know what to make of them. Um, they seem to be analogous to certain geographical patterns on, in back on Earth, but with very interesting irregularities to them." And she'll sort of, wave you over. Go ahead and describe Amanda for me.
So Amanda, she's in her mid-20s, maybe early 30s, long red hair, kind of tall. You wouldn't expect her to be in the STEM field in general, but she's also
Okay.
very, very smart at what she does, despite the fact the way that Jennings talks to her, because he's not good at the social game with people, but he's very much
Okay.
just, well, yes, I appreciate what you've brought here, but have you considered perhaps that we should take some samples back to analyze rather than trying to field work here? We could contaminate the entire tunnel.
Oh, well, yes, of course, but that's why I set the gain on the analyzer to this, and the drones are toned down to their lowest setting. I made sure you were very, very specific in how you wanted the various settings adjusted, and I followed that to the letter. I wrote it down actually
I wrote it down.
after last time.
I dare say she can be taught. Perhaps there's hope for this one yet.
Is that
In reality, Amanda's actually very smart as a grad student. Jennings is just like, he's that professor.
is
Ah,
is that an internal monologue, or do you just absentmindedly say that out loud?
I will absentmindedly say that out loud because that sounds more fun.
She will take that, like you'll notice that, and again, you're not great at people, but you like she realizes, like, she actually takes that as a compliment. She's worked with you
oh,
long enough now to know that, like, okay, well, this guy just does not know what the fuck he's saying sometimes. This guy is just a rude asshole sometimes, and it's not truly his fault.
But and as I said, I'm like, but it does get results.
Yes, yeah, very much so. That's what, like, you certainly feel more appreciated here at the colony than you have in most other places you've been, because you've been able to do things like figure out all sorts of different issues that have been going on.
I do say we should secure this perimeter so that no one else investigates our discovery. Because, well, although knowledge is the most important thing, getting the credit for it is also quite important, Amanda.
hmm.
You haven't told anyone else about this, have you?
No, of course not.
You haven't been talking to that roughneck Gan? I know she tends to talk to people.
Um, no, I mean, other than saying a polite hello in the commissary from time to time.
Yes, well, we'll have to work on that.
Should I not say? Of course, Doctor. And she'll turn back to the machine and start making adjustments to it that you specify. Right. And meanwhile, at the Center Colony Marshal's Station, which is basically just a semi-fancy converted shed with a pair of shipping containers slapped to the outside of it,
Ah,
and very loose bars thrown on it so that you can occasionally throw the people who get too hammered at the local bar and lounge in. One of the interesting side effects about the colony is that, as I mentioned, once it got established, it became kind of a popular and affordable retirement spot for a fair lot of people. This means you have some Marines, you have some Navy people, you have just some of the people who were some of the first colonists getting on each other's nerves from time to time. So, Ward, you're having a bit of a day as well as you slam the door on yet another container full of people who just need to sleep it off. And you're getting the occasional bits back out of and complaints as someone slips through the door, and you're sort of talking to one of the people and being like, look, you're not gonna just sleep it off for a couple hours. You can go home tonight, but I can't let you out until you're kind of sober. But you feel sort of a hand kind of slide across your chest from behind. And it is your partner, Alex. Go ahead and describe them.
So Alex is about the same age as I am. She is a tall, muscular woman. Muscular is probably the wrong word. She is fit. She has half her head shaved. The other half is bright blonde hair that's like mildly curly. She is kind of the fire to my ice. I would say that we are not together, but like 7 nights out of 10, like we're either I'm at her spot or she's at my spot. Like we're not a thing, but we're clearly a thing. Like she's just she's a very good partner in many ways.
It's everything but Facebook official.
Correct.
The only thing it's lacking at this point.
Gotcha. So yeah, she'll I'm gonna say she's a little bit taller than you, and she kind of like wraps an arm around your chest and kind of leans close to your ear and says, "How you doing, Marshall?"
Hey, baby. Good. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you today?
Having a day. The the old Marines are giving it to me again.
Ooh.
They're usually the worst ones. I got it sorted.
And you didn't invite me to watch?
Maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Promises. Anyway, I came over here because Helen wanted to talk to you. She's got some kind of job for you. She seemed a little worked up about it, but I don't know. She gets worked up about everything.
What do you mean worked up? Like excited, freaked out?
She had a meeting or some kind with El Samra, and I don't know, he kind of put the fear of God into her or something. I don't know. Right. But immediately after that, she asked for you, and like then he showed up another 10 minutes later. They've been talking ever since. So I volunteered to come out and find you.
Yeah, okay. I'll go talk to Helen. That's fine.
Cool.
No worries.
You would recognize who she's talking about. It's the administrator of the colony, Helen Royce, and El Samra is Hazim El Samra, the local company rep.
Yeah, baby. Did she need to see me right now? Could it wait, or is it?
I mean, she did seem like it was kind of important. She didn't say like get him here right now, but I got that vibe, you know.
Sooner rather than later, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna finish up some paperwork on these guys, and then I'll give her a ring.
Sounds good. And will I be seeing you later?
I'm planning on it. Are you?
Oh, I always plan on it, but I have backup plans too, so don't stay out too late.
I don't plan on it.
Damn.
I want to see my good girl.
Too bad. And she'll kind of slip sideways out the out the door. All right. So, you can finish up your paperwork a little bit, and the time will come. The sun will be starting to go down, and you can make your way up to the colony center. This is a place known as the Orange. Bridgett, if you wouldn't mind putting the handout for that up on the stream.
Absolutely.
It's called the Orange because it is actually it's the command module of the original colony ship. When the colonists arrived here, they landed the ship on the planet and basically slowly broke up the items, broke the ship up for spare parts and to build habitations. One of the things they kept was the old original command structure, and it's called the Orange because it was bought secondhand, and the caution tapes were the wrong color. So the entire central area of it is a bright orange color on the walls. But it is the center of the colony. It's where most of the records are held and most of the administrative offices.
Okay.
And you've been there plenty of times. It's actually where the courthouse is. It's where
I've spent a lot of procedural time up in here, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll head to Helen's office. I assume I know exactly where that's at.
Yes. Yeah. It's very close to where Alex works. Alex actually works in colony administration as well.
Okay. I do know where her office is.
Oh yeah.
Did it a few times in there.
And several of her co-workers' offices.
When they were on vacay. That's correct.
Yeah, so you can arrive and you can see, it's a converted old ship, so there's not a huge amount of space, but what there is in there, you can see there's a small desk as well as a number of computer terminals that link to various places throughout the ship and throughout the colony. And Helen is in a state. You know that this woman is usually pretty unflappable. She's pretty reliable and pretty good at just sort of rolling with a punch. She seems like actively agitated. She's like flipping through old colony records. It looks like maintenance logs and a couple of other things. And she'll motion you in when she sort of notices you. It's like, please, Marshal Ward, please come in.
Okay, so here's a question. Am I close enough to her that I call her Helen, or do I call her something else?
That is up to you. I think I would say that you guys have worked together a lot. I mean, the marshal of the main colony and the administrator probably spend a lot of face time together, at least professionally.
I think even though I don't give a fuck about titles, I think in public, if we're around other people, I would call her by her title. But here in her office, if it's just us, I call her Helen.
Okay.
Fair.
Cool.
Hey, Helen. Administrator Walker told me that you had something for me.
Yes, if you could please close the door. She sort of she motions to the several attendants that are clearly finishing their shift.
I'll go close the door and then come back and sit down. Like, you look a little frazzled.
Yeah, I need some assistance pulling my ass out of the fire, apparently, because some dumbass years and years ago didn't do the right fucking paperwork.
Paperwork will always get you every time.
It'll get you even if it's not your fault.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Alex told you I had a meeting with Hazim.
Yeah.
He's gotten a request from the company. They say that they want to expand their survey operations and and see if we can discover anything about this area that might lead to some kind of mineral wealth or, at the bare minimum, larger areas to farm. We
I was under
covered.
the impression that we didn't. There was no mineral to be found here.
Yes, I mean, I thought that surveying half of the planet and confirming that there was no particular mineral wealth beyond tin and small bits of copper
Yeah.
uh, would satisfy them, but they're more concerned with that 49% that we haven't looked at yet. The problem is the colony used to have automated survey drones. We could have just sent them out, but as of probably a good 10, 15 years ago, they've all been broken up for various parts. You know that you, Bucho, would know that they were made into both something's called puddle jumpers, which are basically small cargo skiffs that'll go back and forth between the colonies, and into the things that get boosted into orbit. They basically repurposed their systems to use them.
Okay.
And Helen will be like, the problem is somebody 40 years ago never took them off the colony manifest, so the company still thinks we have them.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's a problem. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
They want this information loaded into the shuttle, which is arriving in 3 months. Which, again, Ward, you would realize is about 6 months too early. She's like, oh, and in good news, the supply shuttle's arriving 6 months early.
yeah. Okay. Because Ward really hates inefficient government too. This is very inefficient.
Yes. Yeah, you know Helen well enough that she is like, you know that she is more pissed off that somebody didn't file the right paperwork, and now there's a huge problem. Like, she's not mad that you have to go out and do a survey. She's just pissed off that like it has to be done this way.
Okay. Well, Helen, what's the likelihood that we can refashion one of these puddle jumpers into something that would scan faster than what we've currently got? What's the likelihood that we can make that happen? How can we retrofit something?
We might be able to. The problem is they took the old map of the planet that got taken in the original survey, over 100 years ago, by the way. That then they identified an area that they think is statistically likely to contain mineral wealth.
Statistically likely.
Yes. So she will pull up she'll pull up a map, and actually it's advanced enough. She'll actually move some stuff off of her desk, hit a couple of buttons, and a small projector will pop up. The area that she's indicating is about like 2 weeks travel by ground car away from the center of the colony. It's out in like the boonies.
Sure. Because of course it is. Likely. I hate that phrase.
It has its uses, but I'm not a fan of it at the moment.
it has its uses for other people. Yeah.
True.
How many people need to be involved?
I'm thinking a minimum number of people. She'll slide you a small a piece of paper with a couple of things. The most I can spare to you is probably 3 other people, but you know what happens out there sort of towards the edges. I'd like you to lead the expedition if you wouldn't mind. Sometimes just the presence of somebody with a level head and a gun can make a big difference.
Yeah, sometimes the gun just sets everyone off.
True.
But I understand. Okay. When do you need me to go?
Well, as soon as you can get your method of conveyance ready, and she'll hand something else over to you. I've done what I can to gather some equipment for you. I can afford to give you an old tractor, but it doesn't have the range on it, so you'll need to take some of the solar panels and convert it for usage. And whatever else you can scrounge up that you think would be helpful on a geologic survey. My hope is you can get there, take a couple of weeks to scan everything, and come back before the shuttle lands and we have to upload the data.
So it'll be 2 weeks to get there, 2 weeks to scan, 2 weeks to get back. So we're
About
talking
that, yeah.
a month and a half.
Yeah, you're talking about an area about 1,000 square kilometers.
Mm.
Ward doesn't get wistful or nostalgic, but he's already missing Alex. Knowing that this is going to be a really bad 6 weeks. Okay. I think I might have some people in mind. All right. I'm going to need somebody who's good with crew. I need someone who's good with medicine and someone who's good with environment.
Yep. And she'll surprisingly enough recommend the other 3-player characters.
You should take a whole different crew. Be like, nah, I don't want them 3
Yeah.
players.
Nah, fuck them guys.
It's you, Bucho, and 3 NPCs.
Yeah.
I'm sending you with 3 synthetics.
It's okay. I'll just sit back here and eat chips.
Right.
So now I do know that you've had your issues with one of them in the past. Is that going to be a problem? Would you like to find another one?
He immediately thinks of the Dr. Jennings. It'll be fine. I'll make it work.
Thank you.
But if he goes off the rails, I'm going to put him back on.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
Sounds good. And she'll send you out with the requisition slips and things like that to get the basic equipment that she's been able to provide for you, as well as describe in detail sort of the areas they're hoping you'll map and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And she'll also send out a ping via the colony alert system to the rest of you 3 to have you meet in a place of Ward's choosing.
So this is a ping that comes through in our comms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this colony is advanced enough to have a slightly rudimentary internet and cell phone setup. So it's either the wall panel or a personal device that you have. It's not much more complex than a calculator that makes phone calls.
Yeah.
But pretty advanced for an actual colony.
I pick up my personal data transmitter. I'm just seeing something that says, hey, meet Ward at whatever this location is.
Mm-hmm.
I enter the group chat and I just type no with a period and hit send.
I reply back to the entire group, pack for 6 weeks, meet here. That's it.
Does it indicate when?
Now.
Okay. I walk Vic back to her mom, to her house.
Okay.
Probably before I eat. I like Ward though. I like Ward. So I'll say, getting my stuff, be there as soon as I can, and ping him back. And then
He sent you a heart emoji.
Oh.
Yeah, my ping took a while. But I walk back. I tell her mom that, I'm going to be gone for a while, it looks like. And I actually slip them some money just in case they need any assistance. I tell her I'll fix the screen, but if she puts it on this certain setting, it'll still work. But I'll come back and fix it later.
Thank you. she's very appreciative. She also looks like someone who has a constant low grade headache.
Oh yeah.
Um, particularly with how energetic Vic can be, but she also is trying to encourage things. So, but she seems very happy to see you, and but yeah, she seemed
Not even listening to her.
yeah, that's fair. Gan is off in her own world again.
No, I give her a little kiss on the cheek and I run out.
Oh, that stops her talking.
Yep.
She so yeah, you can go ahead. Jennings, what about you?
Oh, I want to see this ping. Look at the phone. I swear, if he needs me on a mission and he touches my samples again, he, I, all I asked was for him to watch the cart, and instead he decided. I don't know what I did to piss him off, but it sounds like it's coming from the higher ups. So, Amanda,
Yes, doctor.
mind the lab while I'm gone, please. Just run the experiments as written, exactly as written, and when I come back, I expect to see results.
Oh.
Of course, doctor.
Good. As I'm walking away, he'll just mutter, "Yeah, maybe she's not that bad of a student."
You will. You won't hear this, but behind you, she'll mutter, "Maybe she's not that bad of a student."
Oh, she's a brat too. Oh, I love those type of subs. Those are my favorite.
So, all right. So,
man.
yeah, you guys have arrived in Ward. Where did you tell them to meet you? Except for you.
I'm for sure not showing up.
Yeah.
I would say probably in the area closest to the pond jumper that we're going to be taking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, eventually Jennings and Palmer will arrive. No sign of Madison so far.
I will text Madison back, be like, "Hey, I know you don't want this. I don't want it either, but you're real good at what you fucking do, and I need somebody good."
Oh, for fuck's sakes. He does this to me every single time. So I'm going to send a message back to him. It's like, I'm dealing with this whole Mad Hatter outbreak, right?
I do.
6 weeks?
Yeah, it sucks. I know.
Is this conversation in the group chat?
No,
They've gone to like a little sideline.
I'm trying to get this bitch here already.
I'll buzz the group chat. If she's upset about the fungus and the diseases there, just tell her I'll take care of it when I come back. Okay, I just trust me.
I ignore the doctor. Right now, I'm just trying to hook and reel the medic.
For fuck's sakes. So this is one of the irritating things about working with Ward is that he's really good at his job and he knows exactly what to say to trigger me into like compliance, and that's bothersome to me. But I'm already like, fuck, God, I've got to go. And I'll do what I can to, get everything set up where for the next 6 weeks they can put these. Mad Hatter outbreak is not what the official diagnosis is, but that's what she's been calling it, and that's what she expects everyone to call it at this point. She will make sure all of that's set up. She will pack for a 6-week trip. She will get word out to her family, to her daughter, just in case comms are trash on the fringe.
I will text her. I will try to get you back in 5. I will do my best to get us back faster.
Ward, if we're not back in 5, ... is all it says as she like rounds a corner. With a duffel bag. Very minimalist.
He fucking knows better. He shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have done it. Okay.
Doc
all
Jennings, right. Gan, Ward. Let's do this 5 weeks of hell. Good times, everyone.
Well, at least you like somebody in the mix.
Doc Jennings is amazing. People don't get
Yeah.
him. Usually they don't extend the patience that he needs, but really he's always the smartest person in the room, and that pisses everyone else off. I think it's funny.
Nice. Okay, so you're there in one of the vehicle maintenance bays. You've got one of the classic 8-wheeled tractors, the Daihote 8x8s. And it is a little bit run down, but there are some spare solar panels to hook into it. I'm going to need somebody to make a heavy machinery roll to get things set up.
I feel
Yes.
like Gan and I would probably be doing some of the heavy lifting on this.
If the internet allows, I will be the person that does that. I have brought some sort of whatever Gan has, a cart, a wheelie. I have my tools because I didn't know what the assignment was, but I don't go anywhere without my maintenance jack, my etc., my cutting torch. So I will do that. So I will do that.
Yep. Cool. All right. So everybody here knows how skill rolls work, but just in brief, it's a simple ability plus skill roll, and you're looking for sixes. A six on something gives you a success. If you roll more than 1 6, you can use a stunt and do particularly impressive things with it. So let's go ahead and see.
Oh, the suspense is killing me. The internet is like anticipation.
Patient.
And the internet is just edging stream tonight.
It is. It just hates me tonight. But I can do that. I have a strength of 5, a heavy machinery of 3, and
Nice.
I think that I can use my maintenance jack to help divert power to and from electrical junction boxes and lift up the solar panels. Am I reading that use right?
That'll work.
So that will give me a 10.
Look at you, girl. Yes,
Fuck
Boo,
yeah.
come through.
The internet hates Sam, but damn, we Sam, if you can hear me, we love you. Even
I'm
though the
here.
internet hates you tonight.
I'm here. Sadly, I didn't roll a single 6. I rolled a lot of 5s.
Wow.
So thank you for letting me demonstrate another way. If you'd like, you can push the roll. And that means basically increasing your stress level by 1, but re-rolling all of your dice.
And that is what I'm going to do. Because it's early and let's do this.
Hey, Ward, if she can't get her shit together, we're not going to make that 5-week
Fuck
deadline.
off, Doc.
I'm just saying. I could have chosen you a
That
better
felt
roughneck.
personal.
Yeah, fuck her. That is my correct rival, right?
Yeah, I think
see if the internet is doing that for you.
This is so good.
This is very Aliens. I like it.
So delicious. I love it.
1 6.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Man, these old tractors were not made to be hot wired with solar panels. But you make it work. It's not pretty, but it does work. So now you don't have to rely on any gas or petrol. You can basically just, as long as there's enough power in the battery, you can go wherever you need to.
But I do have 1 stress level.
Yep.
And then you gain a stress when you push a roll, right?
Mm-hmm. When you push a roll, when you encounter something strange, when you push a roll, some creatures will cause you stress. Some events will cause you stress. Sometimes I'll tell you to take a stress because it's funny.
Yep. For sure.
Okay, so while Palmer does that, you guys can all have a little bit to scrounge around and see if there's anything in particular you want to bring with you. You've got the survey tools. You've got you've got food and water to get out there. That's not a problem. It's rations, but it's edible technically.
Yeah.
But you've got enough. You've got the scanners and the ground penetrating radar and stuff like that for when you get out there. to actually perform the survey. But if you want to bring anything else with you, you can. You've got all your personal equipment, but if you'd like anything else, I'll let each of you, including Palmer, make a roll to scrounge something up to take with you if you want anything in particular.
Ooh.
I think I would probably try to find like a rifle maybe for hunting in case we come across some food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what would you have me roll for that?
Let's see. You mentioned that one of your other friends is the guy who keeps track of most of the weapons on the colony.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and give me an empathy command roll for that?
Ooh, that's 6, baby. Got 2 6s.
Well done, babe.
Nice. Okay. So you managed to find it and you get 1 bonus.
Okay.
I don't know that will, let's see, command. That's a sort of an off-brand use of command, but so you get that, and he'll manage to track down an extra reload for it. So you'll have
Nice.
some extra ammo.
Nice.
You will get a, what is it? That's not it. Sorry, just grabbing the right thing. So yeah, I'll find the stats on it later, but you'll have you'll manage to get just a nice high power hunting rifle with a scope on it.
Cool.
Nice. Carl, can I try something a little unorthodox on this one?
Please do.
I'll tee it up and you can crush it back into my face or let it fall to the floor. We'll see what happens. So
all right.
What I rolled, if you tell me to roll something different, I'm happy to do so. I went ahead and I rolled my medical aid with this empathy 4, medical aid 3, which is a total of 7. Mm-hmm. If I'm looking at Gan fucking wasting time off of a clock that Ward has promised me, and I'm just like, okay, we're going out to the Fringe. I know that people come back from the Fringe a little different. Things can be tough out on the Fringe. So I'm looking at it like, all right, well, I already know that I have like my napper leave and my medical supplies to kind of help. But like one thing that actually helps people are things that ground them or connect them to recreation or fun. So if I can I use that role to basically do a quick digital search into all of their psyche val profiles, which she probably conducted half of them, but probably not the other half, depending on when she and the last doctor exchanged hands, just to figure out what the one fun item is that each of them connect with, whether it's booze or a soccer ball or, I don't know, a stainless steel beaker. I don't know, but I got 2 6s. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Get one fun item that's recreation based from the entire table. I'm not going to tell them I'm collecting it. I'm just going to go get it.
That's so smart.
Yeah, totally. I love that idea.
Thank you for letting me have that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we'll hold on to that, but remember that you did that, and whenever you want to pull that out, you guys can describe. So think about what your one item that would make you have fun regardless of the situation.
Yep.
Yep.
So at some point she's like, Ward, I'll be back. Give me 20. Your fucking redneck is losing time anyways. I'll be back.
That's fine. All right.
Do I keep calling her a redneck instead of a roughneck, Jesus? I need to fix roughneck.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You too.
Part of me is like, I'm not even going to correct it. But
that's okay, because she hates you and it makes sense.
All right. Jennings, what would you like to try and bring with you?
Well, I'd like to slip down to the medical bay when perhaps Stephanie's not there, because I don't want her to be mad at me. But what I'm hoping is to talk to some of the other technicians, given that we're going to be busy, very busy. I'd like to acquire a few vials of Never Sleep to perhaps work late into the evening.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
And I was like, I'm going to tell them that it's completely for like Amanda, because she's covering the lab in my absence, but in reality, he's just going to pocket as much as he can get.
Okay. So you're just sneak thieving your way through this.
Yes.
Okay. Again, give me an agility plus mobility roll as you're choosing the moment to slip into the command center. Or no, actually, sorry. If you'd like to, you can give me a wits and observation roll.
Ooh.
Oh, even better. That's 8.
If
Oh,
you
You
do
just
it,
doubled my dice pool.
God.
And believe it or not, there's no 6s, and I'm gonna make like Sam and push it.
Here we go. Yep.
I'm dropping my dice everywhere. 4, 8, 9 dice now. Please don't be a 1 on the yellow one.
Oh yeah, panicking on this roll would be funny.
Well, you don't actually, when you push, you don't. Oh no, you do actually add it. This is not a panic situation though, so like I get to say that even if you roll a 1, like you're not going to flip out in the commissary for no reason.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because the dice I'm looking at are 2 regular 6s and a 1 on the stress die.
I'm so glad it's not a panic situation. We ain't got to worry about that
So-
issue today.
Technically, even if I had you roll that, you would roll a d6 plus the 1. You get 7 or less, and 7 or less is you keeping your cool.
Yeah,
So-
that's
But
true.
I do have nerves of steel, so I have a -2 modifier to all panic rolls.
Oh, right, I gave you that. Okay.
So I am like, even though I'd be panicking, I can't physically panic.
Oh,
I just-
yeah, I did do that to you. That's my bad.
I'm
homie.
imagining like I knock over a bottle, and you hear it clattering a lot louder than he expected. Well, someone else can clean that up.
um,
I'm
yeah,
glad
you-
Stephanie likes me. Otherwise, she'd be very mad at me right now.
Yeah, it's
You-
hard to believe why
you-
Jennings and I don't get along.
Yeah, I wonder why.
you make away with 4 vials of Never Sleep.
Oof.
All right. And Jennings, what would you like to scrounge up?
You mean me?
Yes,
Or never
Palmer.
sleep.
Oh, so, I'm sorry.
It's
Yes,
okay.
Palmer.
I'm not here half the time. It's fine. So I once I get, because it took me a little longer, to be fair, to put all this stuff on this tractor and get it going. So I'm just gonna scrounge where we are, and I have tools, but I think I need like some sort of
Yep.
But no, I just need like a knife or something bladed so that I can pry things up. If we would encounter an odd animal, I don't know what's on the fringe. I know what we encounter here. I'm always having to probably knock off this world's version of rats or something. So I just want like a bladed weapon or something, or a knife.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make me a. You know what? Actually, it's a knife. I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You can find a knife and a crowbar.
I would
Okay.
say this. I would say this is also how Gan and I are friends. Like we'll go hunting or every once in a while out in the
Nice.
wilderness. So like I know that she's good at skinning and like butchering, and I'm good at like hunting.
Cool.
I like
Yeah,
that.
you guys have gone on the occasional hunt. This world does have its own flora and fauna. It's mostly been pushed out by Earth stuff, but the main example of one is something that the locals call a condor lizard. Little bit weird thing. Normally they only grow about a foot long. They're kind of like roughly the local equivalent of pigeons. But they do grow larger than that. And sometimes out in the wilderness, you've seen ones up to 10, 12 feet long.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab. I mean, I have my tools, but I'm gonna grab a knife.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Yep. So you got that and a crowbar.
Okay.
Because someone who designed your character didn't give you a crowbar for some reason, and I don't know why.
Well, to be fair, you gave me a tool belt, so
That's
there could
true.
be a crowbar
So
there.
there's
I just don't want to use my good tools to fight these weird lizard pigeons. I want to use the cheap one that I scrounged.
Fair
And really,
enough.
she got all of that and a bag of chips.
Cool. So
I also-
yes.
Let it just be Sam and not everybody. Is it me?
No, you're
Oh, okay.
you're good.
I was about to say, it's Symphony this time, guys. We're okay.
Everybody keep moving.
Are you dancing until I come back?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
just a
wait a
dance
minute,
party
bitch.
every single time she freezes.
Bridgett, just wait until I pull something randomly out of my butt. I have a talent to do
Yeah, what facts?
What are you keeping up there?
that. You don't want to
Um,
know.
All
Whatever
right.
I decide.
Me, wow.
Me, wow.
All right.
I guess we
So-
should find a bucket of lube too.
So moving swiftly onward, you guys are able to gather things up. You've prepped the crawler, as well as gathered some supplies, and Royce will come up and thank each one of you individually, but particularly you, Ward, and say if you'd be willing to head out in the morning, we'll do what we can to get some repeaters set up so that we can still talk to you when you're out there.
The morning would be good, and yeah, we would love to have some communication set up. I know it's a little short notice for them, so yeah, if we could get the night, that would, I think, go a long way to getting some goodwill built up.
Of
ahead of
course.
this.
Of course. And she'll hand out basically a rough equivalent of 100 local credits to each of you, to just say, please enjoy yourselves this evening. This is a huge favor you're doing for the colony and for me.
Happy to
Tell
do
him.
it.
Yep. And she will back away and let you guys do whatever you'd like to do this evening.
So I will turn to the other three and be like, sorry, I thought we were leaving immediately. Please go enjoy your night. Again, I will try to get us back as soon as possible. This is not ideal, but I know it.
Coming back as soon as possible implies that we leave as soon as possible, and yet here we are faffing about at night.
Some of us still sleep, Doc.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a problem. I'm very dedicated to my work. I'll be in my lab.
Okay. Well, you go say goodbye to your lab while everybody else goes and says goodbye to their people.
Samples are better than people. They don't talk back.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Cool. Well,
All right.
Be back here 0600.
Cool.
You got it, Ward.
You guys can go off and do whatever you'd like to with the evening. Why don't you just give me like a sentence or two about what you get up to that evening?
Oh, I'm all up in Alex all night long.
I was about
Got
to
it.
say, like, yep.
That's
I know what Sir is doing.
like
Or
we
she
ordered
up in
we,
you.
we ordered in, we got booze. We may have gotten some illegal stuff to enjoy as well, but like we didn't leave the room. Like,
Okay.
no,
I'm gonna go ahead.
We're making the most of the fucking night.
We'll go ahead and say that you don't sleep at all that night for the
Yeah.
best of reasons.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
there we
fair.
go.
That's fair.
I get one of my like basic mechanics books that I don't even use anymore because it was like what I learned 10-15 years ago, and I highlight some things. It has like some easy how to break apart an engine type thing, and I wrap it up, and before I go to sleep I go back to Vic and her mom's house and kind of slip it in their mailbox, and it has like, goodbye Vic, I'll see you soon, and then I go to bed.
Awesome.
So I give her projects to bug her mom with for 6 weeks.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm like the chaos ant. It's fun.
Cool.
Hey, Sam, before you blip again, can you tilt your camera down?
Yes. That could also be how I'm sitting on my chair right now. But
Oh, so much better. Thank you so much. I had you from like here down there for a second.
okay.
That's perfect. Yeah, I got your whole gorgeous face now. Thank you.
Let's see. Jennings, what do you get up to?
I'll be in my laboratory making sure that everything that I'm leaving Amanda to take care of. She is competent, but, well, you can't argue with somebody who's won the Albert Einstein Award. I clearly know more than her, so I'll make sure that all the procedures are written so that a child could do them. I suppose even Ward could figure them out if left to his devices long enough. And I'll leave a little note
like the one time he's ever a human being. Just I'm proud of you. Thank you for your work.
Oh.
And then he locks up the lab and goes to sleep.
Paradoxically, that'll probably make her panic in the morning, wondering what she did wrong.
I'm gonna
But
get fired.
oh shit, I'm gonna get fired. But
Ah.
okay. But yeah, no, that's an extremely heartfelt and out of character action there, Doctor.
Oh.
All right, and Madison. What does Madison get up to?
Just like as she's departing with Doc Jennings, like she's gonna say this to herself. Like he should really just fuck that girl and get it over with. And then when I get back to my room, it's business as usual. Like this is not gonna be the first time they drag me on some bullshit mission. So what I'm going to do is wait until I'm going to assume that Chrissy, for the sake of this argument, is on a different time zone than I'm on, than the planet way that works. So here in about 2 hours, it's gonna be like 3 o'clock in the morning my time, but it's gonna be like 5 o'clock in the afternoon her time. I'm gonna log on to our whatever virtual spaces and play whatever board game, pick it up from where we were last night. For
Nice.
the 2 hours that her grandparents allow her to stay away from homework and whatever. So we're playing some version of probably like, I don't know, it would probably be something super obnoxious, like the Hello Kitty version of Guess Who. Does your unicorn Spike have a cupcake on the? No? Okay. So she's in bed in her pajamas playing Guess Who with her
Nice.
child on somebody else's planet. And then she'll just go to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, and your kid will stay up as late as possible, as late as their grandparents allow, but they'll eventually grandma and grandpa will come in and make sure that she goes to bed at a good time.
Yep. And at that point, it's like 4:30 in the morning for my time, so I'll
Mhm.
crash knowing that I have to be right back up in an hour.
Cool. All right. So you will all meet. Sounds like Jennings and Palmer are the only two who got a full night's sleep. But you will meet up in the morning. You can mount up on the tractor and head on out. And I think that's where we will take our first break.
Oh,
Um,
look at us.
Yep. So let's see. What do you say? 10 minutes or 15? What usually works better?
It's 8:30 right now. I would do 10 personally.
10.
Cast.
Okay. Let's do 10.
Okay. Audience, thank you for sticking with us. You go ahead and enjoy your 10-minute break too, and we'll see you in 10. Mwah. I think. Okay, the overlay stuck, and I think I'm reporting sound. Okay, I think we're good. Sound and vision good.
Sound and vision good.
Hey,
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
we're
There
cooking
we
with
go.
grease. Let's do this thing.
Cool. All right. So, an uncomfortable 8 days or so have passed in the crawler.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Um, and no matter what you guys think of each other at the beginning, you're all kind of done with each other by the time you arrive at the edge of this place. That being said, you've had pretty decent conversations along the way. You've grown a little bit, probably because you were forced to. But it's nice. It is nice. You don't have to like be in the cab of the tractor the whole time. And there's plenty of space on top to just kind of watch the farmland roll by. You can pass all sorts of different territories marked out with different strains of phosphorescent fungus, and a couple of different areas, as well as the seeing farmhouses, grain silos, windmills, the occasional groups of some of the wealthier descendants who brought horses with them. And yeah, so time will pass. Does anything particularly notable happen between you guys relationship wise as you're going there? Or is it just kind of turning everything up to 11?
I think for Ward, I think he's mostly just trying to make sure that we're getting where we need to go fast.
Yeah.
He would like to keep a promise he didn't quite make, but he would like to still try to make sure that everybody's is back home very quickly. So
Okay.
I think he's very singular minded right now. Just focused on the mission. Get in, get out, get done, get the fuck home.
Ward, would you like to make a piloting check to see about taking some shortcuts and shaving some time off of it?
Sure.
Ooh.
So
Could
that's
I help? Could I help him in some way? Because I
Yeah.
also have basic piloting skills.
Yeah, so you can either help him out. You can help him out basically in any way. In this game system, it's nice. You just say, "I'm helping this guy," and they get
Mhm.
+1 dice.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
just give me a narrative of what you're doing. So you're just basically helping and spotting particularly
Yeah,
noticeable terrain.
I would assume my piloting help is more the machinery. I'm helping him tweak it so it's going faster.
Cool.
I got 2 6s. So
Well done.
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. So you've got you succeed. So you're going to cut the time down a little bit, and you got 1 stunt. The 2 basic stunts of piloting are gain a +1 modification to a later skill, or you show off. For the purpose of this one, I'm gonna let you go faster if you'd like to.
Nice.
That's what I would prefer. Yeah.
Okay, so it was supposed to take you 2 weeks. It only took you like 6.5 days to get to the edge of the frontier.
Damn.
I look back at Stephanie and be like, "We're here. We're early."
What do you want, Ward? A pat on the butt? You said we'd be back in
I-
5 weeks. Let's just see if you
I
actually.
understand.
I just
I-
want to see you uphold the back end of the deal, babe. That's
We
all
are
I'm saying.
here. We're here 8 days early. Is all I'm saying.
Ward,
I
really
give
appreciate this.
Ward a pat on the back. I'm not going to go the butt without his permission, but I'll give him a pat on the back.
I'll take
Like,
a pat
hey,
on the
we did
butt.
it, buddy. If you want one.
Ashley might feel a certain way about that. So yeah, that was totally out loud, by the way.
Cool.
She doesn't
Yeah, so you've shaved a lot of time off.
That's really good time.
Yeah. It's a combination of driving for longer than estimated, Palmer tweaking the engine a bit so your base speed is faster, and Ward occasionally just driving off what you thought was a cliff and just turned out to be a little drop.
Oh, that's good.
Bruh. Oh my
Well,
God, bruh.
I must say, Ward, I appreciate your calculated risks because apparently you're better at math than I thought you were.
You've
I'm
also
better-
spent
Better
go
at
ahead.
emotional math, not real math, but yeah.
you're just familiar with this area because you've spent a fair amount of time, ranging out and surveying the area. I'm going to say you're probably one of the few people on the planet who actually knows how to ride a horse.
That's fair.
Nice.
Because we do go hunting. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. All right, so you've arrived at the edge of the basin. Bridgett, would you mind flashing up the survey map for the stream?
More than happy to. I have a quick question. Can I throw in something retroactively on the trip over?
Yeah, absolutely.
May I, just like some morning when tensions are high, I'm just going to tell them 3 or 4 stories about some of the things that I'm experiencing with the miners and what they're experiencing, like their Mad Hatter, what's she calling it? The Mad Hatter pandemic or the Mad Hatter outbreak is what she's calling it right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through a couple stories with that, and I'm going to banter to attempt to bring down the stress level of anyone that might have it right now.
Cool. So yeah, anyone who has a level of stress, Madison's a nice, kind of like not nonsense story. If there's a lot of point to it, but just kind of like feeling more aware of what's going on and feels like she's opening up to you. Your stress level drops a little bit, so you can shave 1 off. Normally, stress refreshes pretty quickly, but for the purposes of this exploration, I'm gonna have it kind of build over the course of it. So we're gonna kind of keep it. We're gonna kind of keep it for the rest of this session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep it steady
But-
the entire time.
That'll
Yeah,
work.
but everybody is basically now at 0.
You even get a little bit of a smile from Palmer, even though Gan doesn't usually like your little medical stories. It's like, okay, cool.
I mean, the dude swore he
Jenny-
had rabbit ears. It was the weirdest thing. He refused to get into the cryopod because his rabbit ears wouldn't close on the door. I'm not fucking kidding with you guys. I had to sedate him to get him in the pod because he swore he had rabbit ears. It's that type of shit.
Jennings is just furiously taking notes in like a scientific manner. If this is this, then what fungus could cause this? What protein from this fungus? Just muttering to himself. It was,
I must say, Stephanie, I appreciate you sharing these things. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Doc Jennings. Always happy to help. And your map is public facing, baby.
Cool. All right. So you've arrived kind of in the middle in area number 1 there. And this is sort of a large flat river basin that seems to lead into some other area. So basically, in each area, I'm going to want a role of some kind to sort of survey or explore the area. And this can be observation. This can be driving, just like driving around it. Basically, anything you guys want to pull out, as long as you have a decent idea. But for the first one, if someone wants to give me a wits and observation roll, you can start scanning the area.
Yeah, I think I'm going to look at the doctor and be like, hey, doc, come on. You got a good set of eyes on you. You know some of the terrain. Let's see if you can get us where we need to be.
no, just to be clear, Carl, you said we're going to keep the stress until the end of the session? Or am I adding it now?
We're, for the purposes of the survey and like the exploration, we're going to keep the stress. There will probably be a moment later in the session where like we'll move into using it normally.
Gotcha. All right.
Well, I suppose, Marshall, I could take a look. Yes, I've maintained 1 success.
Okay. So this area is pretty bog standard. It's just the remains of a dried up riverbed. But sort of pointing to the idea that maybe in the distant past on this planet, there was a lot more water than there is now. Right now, water only covers about 40% of the planet as opposed to Earth's 70%. So one of the reasons, but there's almost constant rain here. It's one of the reasons why it's decent for farmland is that the soil is usually saturated almost anywhere you guys can put it. But so nothing particularly remarkable about this general area, but you've explored it and you got 2 successes or 1?
I just had 1,
Okay.
but can I also utilize my analysis talent since I'm rolling observation?
Ooh.
If you'd like to, yeah.
Given you said that these riverbanks look as if there was more water on the planet. One
Yeah.
of the questions that you've provided for me for analysis is, how old is it?
The riverbed seems to have dried up geologically, relatively recently, maybe about 15 to 20,000 years ago.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, that makes perfect sense, you see, because if you look at the formation of these rocks and the spores, they would not be made in such a long period of time. Oh, they would never last this long.
Yep.
Yeah. The three
Yep.
people with you are definitely qualified to say yes to that.
Yep.
Whatever you say, Doc.
Yep.
Sure, buddy. Yep.
All right. So from here, you guys can move on to any particular area you'd like to. So from 1, you can go to 2, 5, or 4, whatever you'd like to. 4 seems to be a slightly mountainous area. 2 seems to be a mostly flat area. And 5 seems to be hills and valleys kind of sloping up towards the mountains.
Well, here's what I would suggest. So I think Ward would tell everybody basically what Helen told him and just reiterate what it is that we're looking for and see if maybe we can get a consensus on the kind of environment that we're looking for and head towards that direction.
Okay.
Like I'm not the science guy, so I don't know that I would necessarily know exactly where to go to look for this. So I'd probably throw that out to the rest of the team.
I can make another observation roll, Carl, if you'd like.
Yeah, again, Gan is the person that helps you get there. I don't know which one you want to get to.
So Jennings, you'll know enough about geological stuff to say that, especially in exoplanets, one of the things that you want to look for in terms of places that rare minerals might be found is obviously like mountains and the core of mountains, because they're geologically active and they'll actually push materials out of the earth, or underneath flat what used to be oceans and things like that, because they also will sometimes have everything sort of settle to the bottom, but you'll usually have to dig down a couple of layers there. So it jumps out at you that probably the couple most likely segments here to have what you're looking for are 4, 3, 7, and 9, and potentially 8.
You said that our Jason choices were 2 or 5?
4, 7.
Yeah, 2, 5, or 4.
Well, I think if we're looking for rare minerals, perhaps, well, I'm no geologist, more of a xenobiologist myself, but I've often studied that minerals are formed in mountainous ranges. Perhaps this is what they're looking for. I say we excavate more to the south and begin our expedition there.
As he's talking, I'm just holding up fingers to the grid to Ward, like, just go to 4. Just let him talk, but go to 4. That's just zone 4. That's where we're going.
All right. So I'll look at Gan. I'll say, Gan, let's head south. We're gonna head to the mountains.
Okay. So yeah, you can head on down that way. Just for reference, on average, searching each one of these areas is taking about a day. They're fairly large. You have to run multiple surveys. If you roll well, you can speed things up. Let's see, who is driving the tractor at this point?
I mean, I think Gan would be right now.
Okay.
But I think maybe we would probably switch up.
Okay. I think you and I are the two pilots, right?
Yeah.
The most.
That's kind of how I'm envisioning it too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Gan, if you would like to, can you give me a piloting check to navigate some of the mountainous terrain to get you guys to a point where you can actually run a survey?
Of course. Let's see.
May I throw in a dice to assist again?
Yeah, totally.
Hey, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job. I'm just going to tell you that I was buddied up and butt fucked into a train like this for 6 months. Try to look for thee, and then I will insert geological blah, blah, blah travel patterns as a point of aid to help.
And Gan kind of throws a look like, don't tell me to do my job, but she does listen at the same time. It's like, okay, the doc knows. And that does increase my 5 to a 6. So let's try this. And I don't have any stress dice, right? Because she negated my 1 stress. So.
Yep, everyone's at 0 stress right now.
That's 1 6.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's a little tough going, but nothing you haven't driven over before. And a tractor like this is designed to go up particularly steep inclines and end up exploring areas like this.
I feel like I almost miss one of the little grooves, and I listen to what she says, and I kind of grunt and go, "Thanks for the tip."
6 months in one of these, it was hell.
Let's hope we're not here 6 months.
No, because Ward promised us 5 weeks.
And that planet didn't even have Atmo.
That was such a shit mission. Sorry. Anyways. Minerals and rocks, right?
Yep. So if someone would like to give me a observation roll, they can do so.
I'll do that.
So the basic role for exploring the space is going to be observation. If you want to pitch a different one, feel free, because there's many different ways to actually do this. I want this to be kind of like a riffing session more than just do a skill roll. A skill roll.
Yeah, I'll do an observation roll for sure. Yes, cool. Doctor
Marshall, if you'll accept my help, I think I know that if you look in the areas where the rocks actually are, you may find things.
We are heading towards the rocks. Yeah,
I'm trying to get you that extra die.
Oh,
yeah. Yep. So he will help.
Jennings' way of helping is to say really obvious things.
Thanks, Doctor. We got 1 6.
Okay.
See, look where the rocks are. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So this area,
you're welcome.
This area doesn't appear to have much in the way of mineral wealth, but it does have an interesting amount of geothermal activity happening beneath the mountains. There's a fair amount of like naturally occurring hot springs within the mountains, as well as it's possible that one of the peaks might be a dormant volcano. It would require a little bit more investigating, but nothing. You don't detect like a big vein of gold down there or anything like that. But that might be, within further study, it might actually have something interesting in the mountains.
Okay. Well, nothing here. Let's move to Sector 5 and give that a look.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I think I would be driving at this point if we're talking about days, right? Like each section is going to be a day.
Yeah.
All right. So this will be a piloting roll. 1 6.
Cool.
Well done.
Okay. Yeah, you can drive down out of the mountains. It's fairly easy. This area is sort of hilly, and clearly flat. Like what was very clearly used to be the inside basin of an inland sea of some kind, and you can kind of you can explore around a little bit. If someone would like to give me observation, you can feel free.
I believe after helping the Marshal, I could take a crack at this.
Okay.
3 successes.
Oh, all right.
Take a crack at it, boo.
Okay, so you are scouting around a little bit, and you're getting you're using the scanners and the ground penetrating radar. There's not much here. It could make good farmland with a little bit of processing, but the company didn't send you out to look for more farmland, but it's good to know. But you're picking up some odd electromagnetic interference, and it's coming from like a small collection of hills and cliffs right about in the middle of Sector 5. And as you kind of zero in on that, so you've got stunts in observation. You can do, is it coming for me? Are there more of them close by? How do I get in, past, or away? And those are the basics. If you want to know, what I like to do is sort of port something in from another system of there's more information if you'd like
Okay.
to spend a point on that. So
I'll,
you got,
definitely- I'll spend a point on that. I do believe this strange interference could be coming from rock deposits underneath. I'd like to study them a bit more if you'll indulge me.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's
So
why
you-
we're here.
you tune the scanners a little bit, and you did think it was originally from under rock formations, but it's not. It's a much more artificial signal. You can actually pick up on it. It's weird because it has most of the characteristics of a standard communications array, but it's operating on a very off kilter frequency. You also are going to be able to spot from a distance a small, like the edge of what is very clearly a ramshackle satellite dish of some kind.
Hmm.
Bridgett, would you mind putting environment 1 up on the stream?
You're up in life.
Thank you. Um, Ward, you would know, and actually more than likely, Madison, you would know this as well. Occasionally, one of the things that happens in the Eunomia system is they have kind of a live and let live response to pirates and smugglers. So occasionally, you do find claim jumper bases out in the hinterlands. Ward, you've run into a couple of them before.
Yeah.
This looks like that, and sort of from a distance, you can tell that there's a small satellite array and a couple of repurposed bulkheads from a commercial starship of some kind, making a little, not really a fort, because there's nothing that you would need to make a fort against around here, but just sort of an area to kind of delineate where they are.
Just like a domicile, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I would say, I think having come into contact with some of these types before, I would tie a blue piece of fabric around the tip of my rifle and hold that aloft so that they know that we're not messing with them.
Okay. So that's the local signal for, don't screw with me, I won't screw with you.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, like we're not going to mess with you. You're all good. Like we're just passing through kind of thing.
Okay. Ward, why don't you go ahead and make an empathy manipulation roll?
Okay. Ooh, okay. That's not great.
Well, you have a talent.
I do. I can use my command skill instead of manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that instead,
Okay.
which gives me 3 more. All right, I got 1 success.
Okay. Yeah, so you can tell that there's a couple of people who will take notice and sort of point towards you, but when you get the thing up on the rifle, they take note of it and they keep watching you, but they very clearly, like even from the distance you're at, relax and sort of let you pass. They don't.
Yeah.
They appear, if you're not going to screw with them, they apparently don't want to screw with you.
No, I'll even, if I see them, I'll even just give them a big wave and just keep walking.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So from there's 2, 6, or 8.
I like the look of 6 personally.
Okay. Let's see. So you said you're switching off day by day. So Palmer, if you'd like to give me the driving check for today.
Of course. No sixes.
Um,
We're early on. I want to protect my crew. I'm gonna try with the I'm gonna try again and push.
Cool.
1-6.
There we go.
Cool. Okay. Not a problem. You drive into the area. 6 is actually kind of interesting. And it looks like an area that when this was a sea was probably an island chain of some kind. And like the edges of this are much less gentle. They seem to rise up basically almost directly from the ocean floor. But you can kind of climb your way up there, and you can see sort of scattered around that this was very clearly an island at one point. Let's see. Let me double check something. Everyone can. So I would like to get from you guys a group observation roll. What that means is basically you choose one member of the group to make it. Everyone else, if they want to, can assist that member. But only one person is making the roll. Interestingly enough, later on, I'll probably call for group stealth rolls in which the worst person rolls for it.
Got it. I think Doc Jennings is probably our highest observation person.
Yep.
I got 8.
Take another 3, it looks like.
Yeah, I will assist. I have a high beam flashlight that I can use if you need any nooks and crannies to need me to point at.
That's giving us 9. Nope.
Did you roll 96 and not get any? That's amazing.
I got a couple 1s in there, but like 1s, 2s, 3s, no 6s.
Okay. Would you like to push that or let it ride?
I'm gonna push it.
Okay.
Let's make a 10 dice pool and watch me fail again.
Oh no, you'll get a few. You'll get a couple stunts on this one.
Just 1 success.
Jesus.
Okay. So you are able to call this out before it happens. You're reading the scanners and paying attention. Everyone else is keeping an eye out, but you notice a couple of places where the ground is a lot softer than those around it, and you manage to call out a warning to Palmer just in time as she slams on the brakes, and an area maybe about 50 feet across of the island seems to crumble and fall down into the earth. And you can actually see down there seems to be some sort of standing water of some kind.
Well, I have been studying these tunnels lately. Perhaps this is similar to the ones that I found back at our main camp.
Thanks for the heads up, Doc. Thanks. I would have driven right onto that. Good job.
I'm glad you didn't. I don't believe this tractor is. I believe the word is amphibious.
No, it is not amphibious. Gan actually laughs at that one. Yeah. No, it's not.
You see, Ward, that was a joke. You can laugh at them.
Yeah, Ward, that was a joke. You don't think this joke's funny?
Yeah, hilarious. Doc, if you can, if you studied these structures, tell us where we should park the vehicle so that we don't fall through and end up amphibious, as you say.
Should I make another observations roll for that, Carl?
No.
You want to let the 1 success ride?
No, I'll let the success ride. I don't,
Okay.
I don't want to call for unnecessary skill checks,
Just
especially
checking.
in this game system.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. What was the question again?
The question was basically just have him locate some very structural sand or somewhere to park the vehicle so we know that's not going to fall into the earth the way that just crumbled.
Yeah, you can find that easily. Now that you kind of know what you're looking for, you can adjust the scanners and avoid any potential other points of collapse.
Okay.
Up here on the islands. So it looks like this area would probably, has a significant amount of underground water and could
Mm.
make a good water basin or point for another settlement out here if you wanted to actually expand the colony.
That's good intel to bring back.
It's a good note. Yeah.
Perhaps I could establish a branch laboratory out here.
Gosh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Gan's just thinking about all the shit work she's going to have to do now being wet, trying to do all the grunt work while standing in like knee deep water.
Oh. So yeah, so that is what is in Area 6. So you've got any of the remaining, so 2, 3, 7, 9, or 8.
Let's say hit 8. Bates has been
So
talking
8.
about 8. I think 8 might be where it's at. Let's see if he's right.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
8's gonna be great.
Cool. All right, so you can drive on into 8. From where you are, it's very, very flat. There's nothing here that would prevent it from would prevent you from making your way down there. I am gonna kind of say so. This area you can scan it for a while. It'll take a day. This area was in fact a huge dry lake bed.
Mm.
If it was irrigated again and worked for a little bit, it could make an ideal farmland, like probably even better than some of the farms that are already active.
Oh,
Nice.
shit. So 6
So-
and 8 are coming up pretty clutch.
Yeah, they're coming up hot.
Yep. As you guys are going back to the tractor that day, you can kind of smell something in the air, and it's a little bit of an ozone smell. Those of you who have been on the planet for a while realize that that's sort of a sign that the storm front is moving in. The planet is wrapped by several large storms that kind of bounce and collide into one another.
Mm.
They're not usually violent. They're just more kind of intense constant rain for like a week or two at a time. The only time they get violent is when they run into one another.
Okay. What kind of protection does the vehicle give us? Like, is the vehicle large enough that there are beds inside of it, or do we have to make camp? What is our situation with this?
You have the supplies to make camp. If you want to, you can sleep in the vehicle. It'll be like a feet to elbows situation if you're staying in there. But the cabin is theoretically airproof, or not airproof. It can be sealed because
Okay.
the original model was designed to work on worlds with no air.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
I would say if we know that a storm is building, I would say maybe we would hug the barrier of 9,
Mhm.
so that we are up against some mountainous range, and probably stay in the vehicle just to make sure that the storm doesn't kick our asses too hard.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. You can do that. This storm will definitely start moving over you. It'll start making things a little bit icky. But you're fairly comfortable in the cabin. The only issue is you're getting a lot of static on your returns. There seems to be like a high amount of electrical activity in this particular one. But not a lot of other, not a lot of other issues. So you can drive into 9. Who would like to take that role?
I think that would be
Palmer?
Palmer.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to actually ask you if you can help me because I know that it can be tricky to be in the storms. So I'll ask, will anyone help me look out?
Yes, I will absolutely help you look out. So you should get an extra die.
Plus my stress die.
Oh, plus
Yeah.
your stress die. Yep. And then I'll
So,
throw
you know.
a die in there for you as well.
Okay.
Again.
Thank you. 1-6.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you can drive your way in there, no problem. From here on out, I'm going to say you and Ward have both done enough driving in this area to have earned this. One of the stunts from stamina and things like that is you don't need to roll to overcome the same situation or challenge in the future.
Yep.
Right now, you and Ward kind of know this basin like the back of your hand. So you might not know the exact terrain, but you both have spent literally days driving over it. So
We've gotten used to the environment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Working with now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Same thing with Jennings. So you're basically you're going to be able to succeed at stuff. You don't have to roll. You can roll if you'd like to try and go for stunts.
Okay.
But otherwise, you're just going to drive into an area. In area 9, you do pick up on something interesting. Jennings, you're reading beneath the surface there. You're reading like a tunnel network very similar to the one back towards the colony. And it seems to, at the very least, move through the whole area of 9 and continue into area 7.
Well, if we're looking for underground deposits, I believe I found some tunnels similar to the ones back that I've been collecting biological samples from. Though I haven't found much other than the copper and tin. Perhaps out this far, there may be something worth exploring.
These are tunnels that you keep taking Amanda out on?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I do take my student with me for field observations.
Oh, is that her designation? That's cool.
Well,
All right.
Yes, she's a student. She learns from me out in the field. I show her many things out there, and she learns.
Yeah, you're a good trainer. At this point, I'm just gonna nudge Ward. This is 100% her just being antagonistic because she really likes Doc Jennings. This is how she shows affection.
And you can just see like he's getting like hot under the collar. Like
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, he's turning red. No, it's good. I'm sure she's a great student.
Yes, she's quite competent in her abilities.
Look at him. Look at his collar.
Competent in her abilities. I've known women like that.
We've embarrassed Matt. Success. Stream over.
The two of you together is a dangerous combination.
No.
See,
It is known.
Gan is kind of torn because Ward's her buddy and she wants to joke with, but Madison is getting is enjoying herself way too much. So I'm just like, hey Doc, show me what you're gonna need for me to set up for you to do your surveys. And I just lead him out of this spiral that he's in.
Yeah, treat Gan like Amanda.
No, don't do that.
Like I wouldn't knock him on his ass.
He turns back. I don't know
Doc.
that she has the fine dexterity for the instrumentation.
Ooh,
She's very good with her hands, but perhaps manipulating these scientific equipments is. Perhaps I'll set them up and demonstrate how it should be done.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, you show me how it has to be done.
Show her.
All right, Jennings, go ahead and make me an observation roll for Area 7.
And I will assist. I
Okay.
have a high beam flashlight. I will be helping him observe.
so that is 9 dice plus the 1 stress dice.
Mhm.
That is 1 success.
Holy
2 successes.
hell.
2 successes.
All right.
There we go.
There we go. That's better.
You get a very interesting reading from this one. And if you don't mind, I'm going to burn that second success to give you a little bit more info dump.
It is yours. Burn away.
Cool. Thank
Burn
you.
away.
You get to about the middle of Area 7, and your returns, you stop getting returns back. Like, you have ground penetrating radar that goes down maybe 500 feet or so from the surface, and you start getting returns that just are returning nothing. Not like it's blocked, like there's a huge bubble or dome underneath the mountain range here. Some sort of naturally occurring cavern down there.
Interesting.
That's very strange.
Does it look like this big bubble would be accessible without having to like fully excavate? Could I find a route that would take me there?
Yeah, there appears to be a couple of entrances or like ways into there, sort of scattered at oddly geometric patterns around there. Like pretty regular intervals. There's like at least 6 that you can determine, and they seem roughly equidistant from one another around the edge of the dome.
Do these look like natural formations, or are these intentionally carved?
You'd have to get closer to tell, but they seem like they do seem more intentional than usually shows up in nature.
That's very strange that somebody would do this.
And again, even though you took the second success, can I use my analysis talent to ask a question of the game mother?
Yes, of course.
What is its purpose?
What is its purpose?
Yes.
Let's see. Filtered through what you know already. You again tune it a little bit and focus in. And you start to realize that the cavern isn't empty. There's all sorts of different returns at different heights and lengths and things like that you're going into. There's constructed structures down there. What you're looking at seems to be something the size of a small town or a city, but you can't, like, the dimensions seem huge for human beings.
That's something.
Yeah. However, you have succeeded in an analysis roll, which means you have discovered something about the universe that explains it, even if it's horrifying. So everyone around you gets 1 less stress, gets to shave off a point of stress.
Do I keep my stress for that, or is it just...
Let me double check. I think your stress doesn't
of
go
all
down.
other PCs, so I guess it's all others would be everybody else. So
yeah, so your stress stays the same.
You're welcome, everyone.
now fail.
Knowledge is truly power.
Only because we don't truly understand it.
Perhaps it's for the best. If you've seen the things that I've seen, fires off Tannhauser Gate, for instance.
But I will relay to the group that
there appears to be, dare I say it, a civilization down there, a town much too large for people. If there are indeed things worth mining here, well, I don't know about the exact history of our planet, but if there was a civilization here, they may have established some kind of a mining society underneath the ground.
Doc, are these ruins? Or are these currently being used? Because if they're currently being used and we don't know about these people, I find that very hard to believe.
Was there any sign of motion there?
No sign of motion.
Okay. Just to double check with that, could I use a device thingy that I have?
Sure.
An M314 motion tracker.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. Is anything moving down there?
So let's see. I think there's a range limit on that, but
Extreme range and open terrain, long range and close quarters.
okay. So long range is about 500 feet or so.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you can certainly stand at the top and kind of give it a try. Um, let's see. You scan the area, and I won't require a roll for this. You do get the occasional bits of movement, but it's not akin to like something the size of a human being. It's like a small animal or rodent of some kind, as far as you can tell. It's that size.
And just because I'm a sucker for these dice punishing me, do I have to make a power supply roll for having used this?
Well, you did use the motion tracker, so go ahead and roll me 5 dice.
No sixes.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Power supply remains steady.
It appears, Marshall, there's some small animals down there. Perhaps you and our friend Gan there are able to take them out of sorts, and we can explore a bit safely. But it doesn't appear to be any sort of humanoid civilization.
Okay.
Hey Ward,
Yes.
what's the current finder's prize amount on significant discoveries?
I don't know, but we could certainly find something.
That might be something worth negotiating.
All right. What are you thinking?
I don't know. Let's see what we're working with. We can back into the figures.
I like it. I like it. I'm into it. Okay.
All right.
You two stay here. Let me and Gan take a minute to kind of suss out what's going on down there. We've got the most amount of experience hunting. So we'll go take a quick look, come back, reassess, move on from there.
All right, you explorers go have fun.
Yeah.
As you explore, perhaps do you have a camera that we could monitor along with? And I'll hold up my Siegson PDAT.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps we can observe what happens to you inside. That if things appear safe, I could come in and perhaps collect some samples.
Sure.
Side note, I love how you're using your equipment, because I tried to give useful equipment and you're just like, everyone stand back. I brought nerd shit.
I brought nerd shit.
You call it nerd shit. I call it important shit. Now, have you seen my stainless steel Erlenmeyer flask? It was in my room before we left. It happened to go missing.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I'll take your camera, and you all can just detail what you see, take records, record.
Speaking of gear, I'm not only taking my knife and I'll slip the crowbar onto my tool belt, but I am going to shoulder the cutting torch with me in case we need to cut through something or cut through something if something attacks.
Okay.
The storm is in or is about to hit.
It hit about a day ago
and then passed us by.
And passed you by. This one seemed to be a small front.
Okay.
All right, Doc Jennings, if you're going to babysit the comm, I am going to sit on top and I am going to stand watch on us while they go exploring weird underground cities. And I'm just going to go on a tactical watch on the top and the surrounding area that where we are now.
Okay.
I will turn to Doc Jennings and ask, when you were playing around in the tunnels back near the actual colony, was there anything in the air that we need to worry about? Do we need to slip on a compression suit? Do we need to worry about any air quality or masks?
Well, as Stephanie's been saying, perhaps I wasn't paying the most attention in the tunnels, but
was there anything to worry about in there?
Not in particular. I mean, you do have a hunch that from the allergens that are causing the issue that Madison's been dealing with do come from underground somewhere, but like you haven't had a chance to really dig into it. There's nothing like explosive crystals or anything like that you run into, or like virulent moss. So
That's an oddly specific set of things to say.
I mean,
Oddly specific, yo.
Perhaps again, you may want to
There's-
wear some kind of a mask to protect from inhaling and developing this hyperspace madness disease that Madison's been studying. It's quite fascinating, but I'm told that human subjects are far outside of the realm of ethics.
Yeah, there's nothing the matter here. Nothing the matter.
The look on her face, like, wow, he actually said that out loud, is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Ward, how do you want to play this? Do you want to suit up or do you want to just shoulder through?
Let's shoulder through.
Okay. I do think just because she's mildly paranoid, she's gonna wrap like a do-rag, like a bandana that she has
Yeah.
around her nose and mouth. Like it's probably covered with grease. It probably stinks, but she doesn't care about that.
that's fine. I get that.
She's gonna wrap something around like a makeshift mask.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
And then do you want me to lead or do you want to lead, Ward?
I'll tell you what. You lead, but I'll come up behind you with the rifle. I will have eyes on farther down.
I'm gonna keep the knife and the cutting tool at the ready. Why don't you take my flashlight to shine for us? So I'll hand him my high beam flashlight if he doesn't have one.
I've got one.
Okay.
You have one? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Perfect.
If you're heading out with a cutting tool pointed out in front of you, you just hear Jennings shout back,
But please try not to destroy any samples. Knowledge
This
is
is
power.
This is not for samples. This is for creatures.
Creatures
We
can
deal
be
with-
samples too.
No, they can't be.
Board. Creatures can be samples too.
All right. So let's see, just to see. Madison, you're staying on top of the area. You guys all have comms, so you can stay connected with one another. You can talk and still provide aid and use abilities for each other. So you're staying up on like Overwatch. Jennings, what are you doing while Ward and Palmer go down exploring for you?
I would monitor the helmet cams as much as I could.
Okay.
Kind of like being a second set of eyes for them
yeah.
as they're looking around. Occasionally you'll hear,
Please turn left. No, to left. More to the
Mute.
right, please.
Mute. Mute.
Having
and when they're not
Albums.
responding, he'll crawl out, because if I'm reading my equipment correctly, this is like a little tablet I can watch on. I'll crawl out from inside of the tractor to the top and sit with Stephanie and say, "Do you want to watch too?"
I like to think Gan didn't even mute him. She just is applying the same level of attention she does to Vic when Vic babbles at her. She's just like, yeah, it's a little kid babbling.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my job.
I'll watch
I'll
with you,
go-
Doc Jennings, but she's splitting this time like 30-70. She's 30% with you and 70% on the perimeter of just kind of standing guard on you guys, on us.
Oh, sure. Even though he does work in the lab and thinks that he can do it better, he wants somebody to see him doing it. Like he needs that validation of
Yeah.
you can't be the smartest person in the room if it's just you.
Nice.
I'm so
All right.
glad to be here to make you feel smarter, Doc Jennings.
So you guys you'll prepare yourselves and you'll start to make your way down. Ward and Palmer, I'd like one of you to make a survival roll, and the other one can assist that person. I'm not sure which one. Ooh, excuse me. I'm not sure which one of you has a better roll.
I've got a 5 for that.
Yeah, I'll assist you. I'll assist
Okay.
you on that for sure.
All right. Ugh, no successes.
Push it, push. Oh, or enjoy the failure. You have so many options.
You know what?
Enjoy that failure.
Yeah, let's push it.
Oh, we're gonna
Okay.
push it.
Let's push it. I gotta add a stress die. Oh, I got a 6 on the stress die and a 6 on the regular die.
This is
Nice.
the way.
Okay. All right. So you're able to make your way down there. You the tunnel goes down into the earth initially at a very shallow angle, but then pretty aggressively. It's probably at like a 30, maybe 40-degree angle
Okay.
going down. And you go down far enough that your ears pop.
Oh.
That with the pressure change. And you can so you get a success. You did get a stunt, so you can give a 6 to another PC in the same trouble as you, get a +1 mod to a later skill roll relating to this one, or impress someone.
I want to give a 6 to somebody else later, so I'm probably going to give that to Gan at some point. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you Gan has the basic knowledge. You're used to spelunking in your job. And so you can help guide her. So both of you can pick your way down there safely.
Okay.
When you get to the bottom, the passage narrows quite a bit. Bridgett, if you would flash environment 2 so that everyone gets a idea of how narrow we're talking about.
Bam. Got it.
So you're having to turn sideways and actually like step through at this point.
Yeah.
But it will eventually open up, and it's incredibly dark in here, but your flashlights will play over what look to be kind of the tumble down structures of buildings, as well as columns that seem to be going from the bottom of the cave all the way up to the top to supporting the dome.
Okay.
They are maybe 20 feet around at the base and kind of taper to about 10 feet when they meet the ceiling. And this kind of vanishes back into the darkness.
What do you think, Gan? Press on? Head back?
Let's keep trying. Do we have any sort of I don't know what the alien version of like a glow stick or something would be that we could drop at this location so that we know that this was a way we came.
Yeah, I'll say you that's a very standard thing that one would want to take into, like a dozen glow sticks with you that you can drop behind you to leave a trail.
So I definitely at this juncture, I would definitely want to leave some sort of marker like that. So I would do that. But Ward, you're the boss, you know that. But I'm willing to press on if you are.
Let's press on a little bit more. Let's see what we can see. I don't want to go too far without them.
No.
Okay. You can press inwards a little bit. And sure enough, kind of from where you're at, you move forward into the center of the chamber a little bit. And as your eyes kind of adjust and you let you explore a little bit, you can see that there are what look to be, for lack of a better way of putting it, houses of some kind. They're all relatively uniform. They're maybe 20 feet square and about 15 feet high. But they seem to be lining what is essentially an avenue that you're walking down.
Wow.
I'm gonna take my rifle and look through the scope and try to see if there is any movement down there or if there's any interesting things that I can see with the scope.
Okay. Go ahead and make an observation roll, and you can count the scope as your binoculars, which I think gives you +2.
Holy shit. No, nothing.
Got it.
A bunch of 2s and 3s.
Yeah. Well, do you want to let that ride or do you want to push it?
Oh, I'm gonna push the fuck out of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Love this mechanic. It's one of my favorite mechanics at any game.
1-6.
Damn.
Cool. So it's tough to see through the darkness because the darkness is pretty complete down here. But one thing that you'll notice is it does seem to be that there are the other 5 spokes that kind of come in from the edge operate on a similar principle. So this looks like 5 avenues leading to a raised structure in the middle. And you can actually kind of barely tell the outline of that structure at this distance because it is lined with sort of the phosphorescent lichen that grows naturally on this planet.
Okay.
It's actually, you're only seeing the very faint glow of the lichen through a telescopic sight, but it does look like a very large stone structure at the center of this cavern.
But I don't see any movement.
No. I'm sorry. You did roll 1 success. So yeah, you would see like a local rodent moving around, like nothing. You don't see like a harvester. You don't see anything gigantic, but yeah, a couple of local rodents, probably a few of the condor lizards as well,
Right.
hunting those rodents.
I hate those lizards. I hate them.
Gam, let's head back to the crawler. Let's let them know what we found. Let's reconvene, and possibly all 4 of us come back down and check it out.
Okay.
Yep, you guys can make your way back, no problem.
And I'll shimmy around so that I'm leading again.
Okay.
And I'll start leading back to the surface, looking for the stick I dropped as a marker, and then just keep going.
Yep, you can find your way back, make your way back to the crawler, no problem.
All right, y'all. Here's what we found. There appears to be a city, or at least the remnants of a city, larger than what we're used to. There are 5 avenues leading to a raised structure in the middle of the city. I don't know. This might be what we're looking for.
I was under the impression we were looking for gemstone deposits, not lost cities.
I mean, if you think about it, though, many cities live next to resources. Civilization is going to come up next to a place where there are resources that are abundant. Maybe we'll find some resources near this particular city.
Well, perhaps I could go down there and do a couple analyses to see if there's anything worth having down there.
That would certainly be beneficial. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I take you down there. I don't know. Should we all go? Should we split up again? I don't know.
You guys would all know that part of your employment contracts with Weyland-Yutani, while they no longer mandate, after several alleged incidents about 50 to 60 years ago, they no longer mandate that you have to discover extrasolar issues. There is a rider in everyone's contract for a 10 million credit payout if you do discover signs of extraterrestrial intelligence.
That's the bonus I was asking about. There we go.
Yeah, we're all going.
I knew it was in the contract somewhere. I swear I couldn't fucking remember it, but I know I saw it at least once.
So
Perhaps, Marshall, you'd like to stay here and I'll go analyze it alone because
We'll all go. We'll all go.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to get a piece of this. That's how it works. No one gets more. No one gets less. Everyone gets equal. We found something. We'll take that news back.
Okay. All right, so we're all
I
going
get-
down, right?
Mhm.
Man, I don't know fuck all about this planet. Like, I don't know if they knew there were actually. It doesn't matter. We're all going down. We'll catalog. We'll document. We'll photograph. We'll bring necessary samples back. Whatever. Finder's fee is finder's fee. They can unpack the rest.
Yeah.
You think if Wayland Yutani knew, they would have told us?
No.
I don't know, but it's
No.
starting to feel real suspicious about that clerical error in the admin department.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, fine. Let's go to the big underground city and see what we can find.
Okay.
I didn't see much other than rodents, but keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Cool. So you guys can prep and make your way back down there. No additional roll needed for the first portion. You can get back down to the entryway. Jennings and Madison, for you, it's a little bit uncomfortable having to squeeze down there, and depending on how high your survival is, you might get a little turned around. But they know the way, and they can lead you.
I'll lead, Ward. Ward, I'll lead if you stay behind. If you stay in the back, so that there's no stragglers. And I look right at Jennings when I say that.
I will pull.
I don't want him to. I don't want him to like get lost. Like, ooh, pretty rock.
I will.
Just for that, Carl, can I roll survival? Because
if you'd like, yeah.
Especially, given this whole rival friend thing. That is
5 ones.
It'd be 7 1, 8 ones because the stress die.
Whatever you want to roll, do. Whatever you want to roll.
Okay, it's 2 1. It's no 6s, but it's only 2 1s. You're only half right, Bucho. These dice are gonna kill Carl.
For sure.
So he's gonna try to seem cool about doing this, like, I know where I'm going, and then immediately, ooh, shiny fungus.
All right, so yeah, you guys can find your way down there, and yeah, there's this enormous city of some kind underneath this mountain.
I'm going to keep continuing to look for movement that is larger than the rodents that I've seen.
Okay.
Because it is far too fucking quiet down here.
Mm-hmm.
It is disconcerting.
So as I'm sweeping around, I'm looking at these houses on like actual avenues or streets. From what I can tell, it's like, so what are we thinking? They packed up and left? They vacated? War? Did they just expire at the same time that the planet went belly up? What are we thinking? They weren't far from water or that island connect thing that we saw.
I don't think we know enough yet. It's hard to say.
If the water dried up, it's very likely that they then died.
Doc,
I mean, how close are we to a house? Do you want to just go into one of the houses and see if there's a skeletal remain or
I'm always down to study and observation. After all, knowledge is the greatest power. You may have your crowbar, but I have this.
God.
Yep,
Yeah.
sure do. Doc, can you
Power
use
is power.
the thing you have to give me, like, I don't know, an approximation on a timeline or something? Like, does what we see outside line up with, like, the age of this structure? Basically, what she's trying to articulate is, like, did those two environments exist simultaneously? Or is one 10,000 years prior to the other?
Gotcha.
I'm going to push that roll, Carl.
Okay.
Because these dice apparently hate me today. The pool is now 10 for those of you playing the home game.
Man.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 successes this time.
Much
Okay.
better.
All right.
And no panics.
Okay. So, yeah, you take a look around. So you inspect one of the homes, and you are just sort of keeping an eye out. So that was using analysis.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You get 4 questions to ask me then.
Oh goody, because so the obvious one from Madison, there's Stephanie. How old is it? Does it seem to align with the drying up of the water basin?
It seems to. This area is probably a little bit older than that, but it seems like the amount of dust that settled and the ruin and sort of dripping of stalagmites and things like that, they seem to line up with about 15 to 20,000 years ago. Yeah.
I guess for everyone, the water disappeared.
Yep. Right about the same time.
So I'm going to save my favorite question for last. I think you know which one I'm saving for last.
Oh, I know what you're saving for last.
What is its purpose?
It's a city,
like a settlement.
Yeah, it's a settlement of some kind to support whatever's in the middle of it. Typically, government offices, business districts, or religious areas.
Okay, I'm going to forego. I'm just going to go to the last question here because I feel like if I'm just going down your list. But is it human or alien?
Alien.
Well, shit.
The stones are too big. The dimensions to the doorways are not right. If they were humanoid, they would have been maybe like 8 or 9 feet tall at the shoulder.
All right, so whatever it is, whatever it was big.
Well, friends, I've done some thinking about what we have here, and it appears as though we may have found proof of an extraterrestrial civilization.
How much was that?
Marshall, that means aliens.
It was 10 million per person who finds it, as long as you bring back basically irrefutable evidence.
Okay.
All right.
And actually, you get one more question there, Jennings.
Good.
Oh, then I got to go the next one down. Is it dead or alive?
This city is definitely dead.
Okay. Just making sure. Just checking.
Yep.
Like looking for signs of life. Like I can see what the chat is saying. He's gonna touch the fungus and touch the walls. Licking the fungus comes later.
Not much later, I hope.
Give it time.
Give it time.
Welcome to Dr. Brian Jennings. Is it hallucinogenic hour?
Can I taste my mind?
Yeah, so yeah, it is definitely the remains of an alien city of some kind. And there doesn't appear to be anything out here moving around or living.
Okay, so it just seems to be I'll relay that in typical Jennings fashion with far too many words and wild hand gesticulations. And every now and again substituting in really, really simplistic words like it's a civilization. That means a place where people live, Ward.
Ward is doing his best to ignore the fucking doctor. Because he would like to bring the whole crew back together.
I think since we're now in a more open space, I sidle up to Ward, and I'm just like, I know, calm down. When we get back and we get our payday, I got some good liquor in the tractor, and we'll forget about his idiocy. Okay,
that sounds
just
good.
You and me, though. Just you and me.
Mother,
as I
are there any books or writings in these areas?
In the local area, there don't appear to be. Like the houses seem to have had paint on them or decoration at some point, but that's long since worn away. For the most part, they seem largely smooth stone. at this point. And you can, as you look inside, you can see bits and pieces of what you would assume would be furniture, enough to say that they were probably humanoid. But no, no like novels or books or anything like that lying around out where you are.
No paper, no written anything, just kind of okay.
No, any paper would have molded away like centuries ago.
Okay.
Let's hit this house. I want to go see what's inside.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will stay outside keeping watch.
Okay. So, Madison, you'll step inside one of the houses?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Everything. I want everything that's going to continue to support this $10 million bid right now. And as of right now, she has no reason to... She doesn't think anything is living or moving down here right now. Like, she's in relics, ruins to herself. But there's something about when she breaches the door, that old militarized conditioning kicks back in, and she just, like, naturally does, like, a room sweep before moving from place to place. And it's not even because she feels concerned, because she doesn't. It's just conditioning just reactivates when she's in certain situations.
Yeah, muscle memory from the core. I was in it for 10 years, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay. Could do that. Go ahead.
And I will follow her in.
Okay.
I don't particularly like Madison, but she's my group, so I'm going to stay by her.
Okay. Yeah, Madison, if you'd like, you can give me a wits observation roll, or actually, if you'd like, you can give me a medical aid roll to know a little bit about the creatures who lived here. And what you can find out is like, you can see a bed frame, you can see furniture and things like that. Parts of it were made of stone or much more resistant materials than wood or cloth.
We're definitely going to just lean into mechanical advantages right now. That's 2 6s on the medical.
Nice. Okay. So you will, in fact, be able to determine concretely that they were humanoid. They probably averaged about 10 feet tall. You're not sure how they reproduced because you don't have any examples of that. But in addition to that, you would also know that with an extra point there, the amount of bone density and musculature required to support a frame that's 10 feet tall would have been like much more than human. So the average individual here would have been maybe 10 feet tall and 400 to 500 pounds. And that would have been one of them that didn't work out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So just through the comms on the dock, it's like, hey, doc, for written structure, looking around right now, we're definitely looking at bipedal humanoid creatures of some sort, but given the ceiling height and, the furniture that I'm seeing, I'm clocking them at 9, 10, maybe 11 feet tall. Given the structural support, 400, 500, 600 pounds.
But if we can perhaps recover a sample, think of what we could learn. We'll have to find one.
No. And then she's getting ready to say something on the comms, and she just bites it off as she lets it go. It's like, we're going to just leave that one to go. So she's going to continue to sweep this house, just looking for anything else that she can find, anything that she can pick up, anything that they can collect.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Jennings, are you or sorry, not Jennings, Palmer. While Madison is searching the house, are you doing anything in particular or just covering her?
I'm covering her, and I probably have the flashlight out just to give us extra light because I don't know how much light's in this house.
Okay.
But I'm a machinery person. I'm a practical person. I'm looking for kind of anything unusual that looks like gadgety or machinery, or is there a weird door mechanism, or I'm looking for any, not really traps, but I'm looking for structural.
No, I got you. Go ahead and give me a heavy machinery roll.
That is 4 6s.
Ooh. Okay.
Damn. Damn.
Let's see. Okay. So I'm just gonna tell you everything about this, and then you can have two extra successes. So you're looking around, and as you're passing your flashlight around, you see not a glint, but almost like a spot on the floor that doesn't seem to reflect light. And you move over to it a little bit later, and you pick up a small metal assembly that is fairly heavy. It's maybe about a foot square, and it looks like a very simple hinge, but there's something interesting. There's a couple things that jump out of you about it. The material it's made of is like a jet black with almost like a iridescent blue hue to it, but only at certain angles. And you move the hinge and it doesn't make a sound. So after 15 to 20,000 years lying on the floor, this hinge still works. And it seems to be made out of some sort of alloyed, frictionless material.
Oh, that's mine now.
What the
And we can put it
hell?
in the pool of alien artifacts if it helps me get my 10 million. But until then, it's mine. It goes into my tool belt that's on my person.
Cool.
And then you said I got some other things for my 6s?
You had 2 left over, so if you want to suggest something to me, I'm more than happy to roll with it. But yeah, you found a piece of material that like you can't wait to get back under a spectroscope, and you're not even that kind of mech nerd.
Let me think. Can I actually you save one of the points for helping me look in other structures or in the avenue as we go along? Now that I know that this metal exists, I know these weird things exist. Can it just help me look out for more oddities like this?
Yeah, you know what? That's a basic usage of heavy machinery. So, yeah, you can get a +1 mod on a later skill roll relating to this one. And because you had 2 left over, I'll give you a +2 or a pair of +1s.
Okay.
All right. So that is definitely you guys inside. Jennings and Ward, what are you doing outside?
I'm still very much just keeping watch,
Okay.
kind of scanning the horizon. I think at this point, like I am watchful. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up when enemies lurk nearby. You get a +2 mod to observation when trying to spot a sneak attack. I don't know if enemies are nearby, but my whole demeanor is I am protecting these people now.
Right.
That is my role at the moment.
Gotcha. You definitely are watchful. You've done whatever you need to do to kind of adjust your mentality and kind of drop into that headspace. Kind of like letting your emotions just kind of drain out of you and just move into like pure reactivity.
Yeah.
But like and it's a place that you're weirdly comfortable in.
Yeah.
But you live there for a little bit, and it is so you are on watch. You're not getting the hairs on your back of your neck yet, but you definitely feel a little bit better just kind of being on Overwatch.
Yeah.
Okay. Jennings, what would you like to do?
Jennings, upon realizing this is possibly an alien civilization, and they're all looking in the inside of the house, he's going to look for other biological samples, like any sort of things on the walls, anything that may have grown on the floor.
Sure.
I mean, let's not forget his introduction of I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
That's a good point.
This is a thing. Yes.
Okay. If you'd like to make an analysis roll, you can feel free. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I accidentally took my finger off the unmute button, so it worked out
I was like,
anyway.
wait, is that me? Oh, thank God.
So let's say a dice pool of 10.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
Love it.
Well, we have a success,
Okay.
but we also have a panic.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, all right.
That's a good time for it. I like it.
Yeah.
It is a good time for it. Go ahead and give me a panic roll, which is just a D6 plus your current level of panic.
So that's going to be a 6, but I have the nerves of steel, so -2.
Oh, you're
So that's good.
fine.
That's a 4.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
He's fine. But does that completely negate the success that I got to look for stuff?
No, so when you roll a panic roll, it only contradicts the action you were taking if it would logically do so.
Okay.
So you I think everything up to like nervous twitch or tremble, so everything up through like almost 9 on the roll generally doesn't contradict.
Yeah, I think it's 9
Gotcha.
or above or 10 or above.
Yeah.
Yeah, six or less is keeping it together.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to keep it together. He's going to look for spores, molds, and fungus.
Okay. Cool. So you got one success, you said?
As one success.
Okay. Are you using observation normally, or are you going to use analysis?
I was going to use regular observation. I feel like I've
Okay.
squeezed analysis enough times in the last like 30 minutes of game.
There is a couple of things that jump out at you, but so you look around and you can see, again, you work with spores, molds, and fungus, and you can see areas where there were very clearly large biological things that were broken down over time.
Okay.
You don't find like bones or anything like that. Not like a whole skeleton, but you will find the occasional chips of bone that are left and like very small bits of a creature.
Samples.
And you can pull some samples. And
oh yeah, he's pulling samples like crazy.
As you're looking too, you sort of sweep away some of the stuff that's on the ground. And you can see that there's some sort of odd, like angular, you'd call it lettering if you knew more about languages, like lettering on the roads itself that seems to proceed along the avenue and kind of lead towards the center of this dome.
For the lettering and all that, just to clarify, because I'm curious now, is it hewn in stone or is it metal that's laid down for, like, could it be the outside of a ship?
It seems like, so the floor is stone, but it does seem like the lettering is, or at one point was laid down in metal. It seems like some of it's been pried up, or taken over time. But there are still a good number of them. And it's shiny and silver. It's not actually silver. It's an alloy of some kind.
Ooh.
It actually would jump out at you that it denotes advanced metallurgy.
Advanced metallurgy, okay.
Oh, me wow.
Me wow indeed. So I'm gonna make one little roll. I have a fun little die called the happy sad die.
Okay.
And the happy sad die tells me to not listen to reason. Because scientifically, one way that you can test for things to be alkaline or acidic
is licking them.
Is give it a little taste. Given this is a weird alloy, I'm just curious. Like, is it possibly corrosive? I will lick a little bit of the alloy.
You got to lick it before
that
you
didn't
stick
take long.
it.
He for sure licked something. Chat called that shit.
Yep.
We all knew you were gonna lick it.
It's not.
You didn't say there's a fungus I could taste. I got to go for the next best thing.
Yeah, put his mouth on something.
Yeah, it is slightly alkaline. It's odd. Like, it's almost sweet to your taste. Like, it's actually activating like the sweet centers of your taste buds rather than like the anyone that metal should.
Ew. It's disconcerting.
Out of character, that is disturbing.
Yeah, that's not warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Don't lick shit in my games.
Quote board.
Don't give me things that I can lick.
Be honest, Doc. Jennings is the type of kid that would just lick D batteries, isn't he?
Yeah. Don't
You
lick
mean
things
fu-
in my game.
You mean fuzz buzzers?
Yeah.
See, Carl gets it. But yeah, so he'll kind of recoil at the fact that it's sweet, and then he'll look along the alloy to see if there's any biological samples. Because if it's sweet, he's kind of thinking in his head of, okay, this is sweet. It possibly has some kind of a natural sugaring on it, and certain lichens and plants and fungus might be looking for this as like a food source. So
All the lichens that you brushed off from it seem to have grown around or over it. Like none of them actually anchored to it. There's more of them anchored to the stone itself than the actual metal.
Hmm.
Now you tell me that after I lick the thing. I don't. You said I'm not good at languages. I'll start scraping up some of the lichens into little sample vials if I have any.
I mean, to be fair, you're as good as languages as your roles allow you to be. It's not your primary focus, but
I mean, could I try to figure out? I mean, after I did win the Albert Einstein Award, I'm not exactly a dum-dum.
keep hammering that nail.
Hey, you put it on my sheet. You gave it to me,
You
Carl.
gave me that
This is
fluff
on you.
text. I'm gonna keep
It's
it.
true. Yeah, if you'd like to make an analyze roll, you can.
Oh, perfect. So that's another 10 dice.
Yep.
You're gonna panic again? This be a good time.
No, but I'm gonna fail every 10 of them.
Holy hell!
Well, but you can solve that easily. You just push the roll.
Yeah.
You are all instigators.
Push
and I
the
love
roll.
it. You know I don't say no to things.
You should
I have
lick
to
the
roll
roll.
across two hands. I can't
Lick
fit all the dice in one
roll.
hand.
That needs to go on the next Symphony t-shirt. Lick the roll.
Oh shit, licking worked. That's
It
4 successes and 1 that missed the tray.
It typically does. Here we go.
That is 5
Okay.
successes.
All right.
Jesus.
One of the questions you can answer is how does it work? So
Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna ask, how does it work?
it is in fact a language. It is you don't have the whole story, but it seems to be telling the story of an entire people. There apparently a long time ago was an indigenous culture on this planet. And they are as you uncover more of the language written along the road, it seems to be leading back forth to the summit of the heavens is what they're calling the mountain at the center.
I'm sure everything is fine.
Yeah, everything's cool.
Yeah, the Aztecs called. They said it's fine.
Yeah, this is clearly the Stargate. We're good.
And you, Jennings, you're sort of picking it out for the first time. You can now see in the distance the same ziggurat that Ward did. And Bridgett, if you would share environment number 4 with the stream, please.
Up and running.
Cool.
I advanced the plot
You do.
with my
Well,
tongue.
you're all charging forward with the plot right now. Yes, tongue forward. You're advancing the plot.
Tongue forward.
Tastes like danger.
We've licked our way forward.
We've licked our way forward.
Oh, gee, yeah, but I will. I'll keep reading this, and as I'm going by, I'll just be scraping some of the lichens if they don't seem like ones I've had in my lab before.
Okay. Yeah, you can easily gather samples you haven't seen before.
Oh yeah. And I will start walking towards the. You say that the lettering is sort of leading to the ziggurat.
Yeah, it seems to be lining the road going, heading towards the ziggurat.
I'm going to be Scooby-Dooing it, just like Ooh, the whole way. Oblivious to things around me, just like laser focused on this rail of story.
Hey,
Okay.
while he's going off ahead, are none of us going to address the fact that he just put that shit in his mouth? None of us are going to say anything about it. Really? I'm the only person with an actual concern here.
I'm the
I
only
was
one. I'm
looking-
outside. I can't see
Yeah.
him put shit in his mouth.
And I'm looking at this cool hinge, and I don't think I care about the scientist.
Okay, so he's putting things in his mouth and you're all okay with it. That's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Oh,
I don't know if
Stephanie
I saw
cares.
him put things in his mouth.
I
Okay,
definitely
for
did
those
not
who
see
weren't
him put
following
anything
the
in his
visual
mouth.
cams, he's putting shit in his mouth. No one cares? Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
I assume he does that often.
This is no, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Please stop licking things.
Way to go,
Hey
Ward.
Ward,
Thanks
look
so
what
much.
I found in the house.
What did you find?
The fuck is
I
that?
found this hinge that's a material that, yeah, doctor, you might. I would ask the scientist, but you're right, he's licking things. It's an odd hinge out of material I've never seen. Look how old this thing is, and I show them that, like, I move the hinge and it's silent. It's not rusty at all. I've never seen any metal like this, and I know metal.
Make sure you bring it back with you.
It's in my. It's I very quickly, as soon as I show it to you, it's back in my pouch, and it's
Perfect.
mine.
What the fuck is
Perfect.
going on? Okay. All right. Ward, he's heading straight towards the what the hell did he call it? The crest of the stars, the sum of the heavens.
Summit of the
Summit
heavens.
of the heavens.
Yeah, can you-
It's called the Summit of the Heavens.
I'm gonna be on a 6. Can we all please close on this together?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I can wait.
And stop putting
Okay.
shit in your mouth. Okay. We're gonna go in collectively together as a group.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna join up and yeah.
Cool. Okay. So you can make your way in towards the center, and sure enough, you end up at the base of the ziggurat. I'm not Jennings. I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You have so many overflow from last time. Every city is arranged around something. This is a temple. This is a place of worship of some kind. It's maybe 200 feet on each side and goes up to a platform about 75 feet square. And it seems like there's a set of doors made of that same black, slightly iridescent material.
Hmm.
Wow.
It seems as though they've made the same alloy. I'm sorry, my tongue feels a little strange after having tasted something. You'll have to forgive me.
That's why you don't lick shit that's hundreds, thousands years old.
Well, if I had my graduate student here, she could lick things.
No. She also should not be licking things.
No.
Nobody should be licking anything.
Well, that's
Oh.
not what Alice told
This
me.
is
But
this is. I'm not the smartest man alive, but I know that's not the scientific method. So
Which one of us has the Albert Einstein Award?
you know what? Probably the one who's licking things, which isn't great.
Oh God. Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, like Madison, you're getting like a full frontal like headache.
Yeah, because she hates everybody. Like,
Yeah.
that's a dumb shit. Oh God. Okay.
so if I take the hinge out of my bag, like, does this hinge almost look like it would go on one of these doors, or go, like, does it look similar?
So these, it's the same material clearly, and it's the same kind of manufacture. These doors themselves seem to be made out of the material, whereas the hinge probably connected to something that was organic, like hardwood or something like that, that sort of rotted away.
Okay.
Just given the structural setup of these doors, does it look like they pull out? Does it look like they push in?
Looks like they pull out.
Oh, fuck it. She's gonna slip on a pair of gloves, and we're gonna try to pull one of the doors open.
It moves completely easily. Like you barely have to use any effort at all. The door is maybe 15, oh no, a good 20 feet tall and 5 or 6 feet wide. It moves with like only as much effort as moving your hand.
Holy shit. Okay.
Um, and you can see kind of leading into the center of the space. Seems like there's a ringed circular area on the inside overlooking a pit that goes down. And there is a large area that juts out over the center of that. Bridgett, can you show environment 5, please?
En route.
Thank you.
Oof. That's not a good look for us.
Oh shit.
And
I'm happy.
as the door opens, there's small areas of crystal about every 10 feet leading out to the center. They slowly come to life and glow with a light orange glow. The inside of this area seems to be covered in writing. Writing, hieroglyphs, pictograms, all sorts of things.
Doc,
And
can you read any of this?
I can certainly try.
I mean, please don't lick the walls, but can you read the walls?
And now, Ward, everybody knows you don't read with your tongue, silly.
Oh, word?
No successes, but a panic.
Okay.
Oh shit! That actually might do. That's going to be a 9 minus 2, so it's at 7 for the panic.
That's fun. That's nervous twitch. Your stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you, which I'm going to say is everybody, goes up by 1.
Fucking hell.
Oh, God damn it.
Honestly, I'm only at 1 because I've been very calm.
I'm at 2 now.
4.
Importantly, Jennings, was that a normal observation or an analyze?
I would assume it's going to be a normal observation just because he's trying to read it. He's trying to read it, but he's just.
It's almost too much. I mean, think about walking into a room which had the Bible scrawled over all the walls, and trying to absorb all of it. It's stories cut off halfway through, show up on different areas. You'd need weeks to get a full handle on this.
Well, Marshall, there's so much here. It's as if they've taken an entire history and pieces here and here and here, and he just keeps waving his arms around, making less and less sense as he does this because his hand keeps kind of twitching as he's trying to point with it.
Jennings, can you give me an agility and mobility roll?
Please be to fall in the pit.
Oh, that's super what it is.
Oh, thank God. Good.
Well, here's the fun part. It's a 50-50 regular to stress dice. Oh, that is 3 successes and another panic.
Nice.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll the panic.
Black dice have been rolling low. That's going to be a 1 on the dice, so 5 minus 2, so 3.
Yeah, keeping it together. Yeah, you okay, so you're walking around almost agog, looking around at this stuff, and you get to the edge of the platform, and a part of the stone is old enough or poorly maintained enough that it crumbles, and maybe a 1 foot wide chunk goes flying down into the pit below. It drops maybe about 50-60 feet, and you can hear it go bounce off of other stones, just go crank, 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 thud.
Oof.
And it slams into something that doesn't sound like stone. It sounds like it was leathery, or something along those lines. And the lights will actually start to flow downwards.
Whoa.
And light crystals down into the pit. What you can see is lining the sides of the pit are a dozen different pods, essentially, that seem to be at the top and seem to have a track leading down into the pit. They look to be about the right size for these creatures. At the bottom are a couple of dozen like leathery orbs of some kind. One of which just got knocked down by the stone that fell.
So we're talking how many pods?
12.
12. And these are about like 9, 10, 11 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck you, Carl.
What the fuck is
It
this?
looks like it jumps out to Jennings as a sacrificial chamber. Sacrifices would be loaded into these pods made out of this frictionless material and slid down into this pit to whatever those slowly opening pods are down there. Is what occurs to you as the lights flip off and the
I'm
doors.
sorry. Did you say the word slowly opening?
Oh, I did.
He
Yes,
did.
almost opening like the petals of a flower as the lights cut off and the doors slam behind you.
What the fuck?
Oh no, you are not about to do what I think you're about to do, Carl.
And
Yes,
you
he
can
is.
you can hear skittering in the darkness below you. And that's where we're going to break
And
for
God
session one.
fucking call game.
Mother-
Yeah.
And that, friends of the Symphonies, how we're all gonna fucking die.
Holy shit.
I think it's how we're going to end up being mules to go back to the colony to kill all the people. I think that's how we're all going to die.
God.
Oh,
Don't lick things. Don't lick things. Fuck you, Carl. Don't lick things.
And Carl's like, oh God. And that, friends of the Symphony, is where our show ends for tonight. Thank you so much to everyone who joined in or is currently watching the replay. You are indeed the very best part of waking up. If you enjoyed this content, please consider backing us on Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. We are going to do a quick exit of all of our casts. We're going to start in the same order. Sam, tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you.
Hi, I'm Sam Pidde, Fiery Angel on Discord and other things. Live in Northwestern Illinois, work for a local newspaper, love my family, love my husband. Can't wait to see a lot of you at con.
Hey.
Love the fact that I'm gonna die.
Holy hell. Doc, hit us. Who are you? Where can people find you? What are some of the things you do?
I'm Doc. I can be found on a lot of various Discord channels. A very good chance if you just try to look for Dr. Bones 412, you will find me there. I'm a chemistry professor, so not licking things in real life, only in games.
Only in game, only in game.
I've written a few scenarios that are on the Miskatonic repository. They've been populating in the little chat bot. Please check those out. Pick those up. One of them is creeping towards silver, and I just sent another one to my editor today. So my goal is to have that up at ChaosiumCon. I'll see you all at ChaosiumCon. That's going to be a wonderful time. Going to be raising hell up in Michigan.
Definitely good times.
Yeah, I gotta say, Carl, you really ripped the rug out there at that very last second. You son of a bitch.
Thank you.
I respect you for it.
Fucking Carl. God. Bucho, hit us, baby. Tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find your sexy ass.
Y'all know who I am. I'm the production daddy.
Yeah.
I'm always on the Symphony.
Yeah.
Kind of everywhere. My link tree is up in the chat. You can find my art, my DJ mixes, my blog, links to all of my books. Also, this is my latest, Under a Black Rainbow, which, if you like really dark fiction, you'll love that.
Chapter 1 is all about licking.
It'll scar the fuck out of you. Yeah, and that's me. Oh, also, tune in next week for really impressive news that if you're not a backer, drop today. So, tune in next week to find out what we got coming up for you. It's pretty exciting.
It's pretty dope.
Is.
Oh,
It's
so
pretty
dope.
damn dope.
All my dogs came in because they got really excited about the news too. Carl, tell us who you are, where people can find you, and some of the things that you do.
I'm Carl. I can be found on Instagram at Der House Carl. I am usually on the Symphony server as Fiddlemeyer, and I'm just here to fuck with the four of them. So that's what I'm about for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, successfully so. Fucking ritual chamber. Anyway, we'll talk about all that in the talk back, which, if you would like access to the talk back, where we basically get together and we yell at Carl about how could you do this to us, and we talk about licking things, definitely back us on Patreon. That is available to backers who back us at $10 or more a month. Again, at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. And with that, friends of the Symphony, I am going to bid each of you a wonderful night, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.